Guys, K. Robert commented on our last video. He said, the pod is called Now We Can Talk Like Men, not kazoos dipped in peanut butter and subsequently trumpeted with a flaccid fart.
I'm not having that kind of disrespect from this. What's his name? K. Robert? Was that KKK Robert? I'm not having it. Bleep you, Robert. We got this fixed. We got the new mixer. We're ready to go. We can talk like men. Welcome back into another edition of the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast. It is episode 4, A New Hope, and it is actually going to be a new hope for us here on the podcast. We got the right stuff, the right equipment, and we're good to go. Hopefully we sound much, much better than we did previously. Again, I say this because RIP, we lost him, but Ashton... he's gone. He's out of here, baby. No more Ashton on the podcast. He's out of here. We got rid of him. I think it looks a little bit better.
The couch finally ate him.
He just slowly sunk into the couch until he was no more. But we got the three of us here today. Hopefully Ashton will be back in the future. We'll see. We're not putting a lot of money on that. If you could do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. But for right now, it is going to be myself, Justin Sofro, accompanied by Brian Powell and Dwight Young today, giving you the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast, talking about all the things that we want to talk about when it comes to gambling.
Could be bourbon, could be sports, could be politics, could be vaginas and peepees.
So, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So, what we've got on the agenda today, we've got a new segment that we are calling What's Tugging on Your Balls? And that's just where we're going to tell you, this is what's been tugging on my balls this week. And you'll find out what that is. Then we've got another segment that we've come up with called Dude Debate, where we're going to debate something that, is it appropriate for men to do this?
A duty bait?
A dude bait.
Dude bait. Got it.
Dude Debate. We're going to do that. Then we're going to go into our draft. That's, a fan favorite. All 12 of you fans, you love the draft. So we're going to do more draft.
It's the easy content machine that we have here. That's why we just keep milking the sweet
play the hits. Yeah. We're going to play the hits. And today, Justin, you want to tell us a little bit about what our draft is? Because Justin came up with today's topic.
Yeah, today's topic is going to be, it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be an interesting one, though, because I guess the way you can look at it, it's going to be a very subjective one. And what we're going with is going to be, we are drafting our favorite albums of our generation. And the way I put our generation is really going to be from when we were born to now. So you can pick anything while you've been alive. So basically, obviously, there's a lot of good music.
33 years worth of albums that we had to sift through to come out with our top 4, which is impossible to do. But we'll get to it.
But I think one thing to be clear when we get into it, though, is that it's going to be, it's very subjective. So it's going to be very, very, it's not going to be a who's who of we're just picking, the most famous people, the most whatever acclaimed albums, because it's going to be very what we like in that time. So you're not going to get a lot of country music from me. I'm sorry.
I think we'll debate it when we get there, because I had major trouble with this draft. But we'll talk about that later. So we're going to get in. We'll talk about the draft and all that. I also want to talk a little bit about some breaking news that came out of the Ja Morant saga. So we're going to get into that, and I'm excited. And as you may have noticed, yeah, bang. We're going live on Instagram. Get your guns out. And
I had something to say, but it could not be appropriate.
We're not going to,
if I did.
Well, that's what we're here. We're here to talk like men, are we not?
That is true. Okay.
So what do you want to say? Say it.
No, I'm not actually going to say it. No, I'm not getting canceled. Hashtag can't cancel me, bro.
And lastly, you can already see what bourbons we are reviewing today. And Brian, why don't you give us a little bit of give me a little teaser of it.
All right. So this is my first chance to actually be the person who's providing the bourbon and going to be letting you guys sample it and see what you guys have to say. Mm-hmm. All 3 of these are from the same distillery. So we're looking forward to promoting Heaven Hill, which is a local distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, one of the largest distilleries in Kentucky and in the world. And we're very excited to be able to be tasting 3 quality products that hopefully in 3.5 hours we'll be able to share with you.
And I am so stoked. Thank you, Brian, for that great introduction. I'm super stoked because I've actually never tasted the Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond. I've obviously had this a number of times.
McKenna?
Yeah. Henry McKenna, 10 year. I've actually had the pleasure of tasting this little hard to find guy, but we'll talk more about it then. So I'm super stoked to get into this.
That's the old Fitzgerald?
That's the old Fitzgerald 17 year, Brian. Is that correct? So
Yeah,
17 years old.
I own, while you have 18 over there. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Again, we've got a big price disparity, right? So we'll talk about it more, but we've got cheap, pretty easy to find, getting a little bit harder to find, a little more expensive, and then you're going to have to empty your wallet. You're going to have to bend over backwards and just let Heaven Hill take you out back, because that's not going to be cheap. We're getting into the first segment. We're going to talk about what has been tugging on our balls this week. This is just going to be a segment where we kind of talk about what's had our attention, what's going on. Let's start with Brian. Brian, what's been tugging on your balls this week?
Guys, it's been a very emotional week for me. I've had the conclusion of 2 terrific shows pop up this week, and I've been highs of highs and lows because these 2 shows have meant a lot to me over the last few years. And they're both quality products for very different reasons. And spoiler warning, just so everybody's aware, Succession ended this week, and so did Ted Lasso. And Ted Lasso is the most optimistic TV show I've ever seen in my entire life, no matter how sad, depressing, emotional, whatever. Time
out. I have not seen the end of Ted Lasso, so no spoilers for Ted Lasso.
Oh my God, this is hard.
So no spoilers for Ted Lasso. We can get into Succession. No spoilers for Ted Lasso.
Where are you at on Ted Lasso?
I have not started the last season.
Okay, well, you're in for a ride because the whole thing's out now, and you need to watch it.
That's next. I just finished Succession, so I'm ready to rock.
So half of my spiel is gone. So again, Ted Lasso, amazing show.
I now have
you
nothing
need to
talk
watch
about.
it. If you don't have Apple TV, it's worth whatever it costs just for that show, and then cancel it because it's bingeable. There's short episodes, and literally I've not watched one and not been happy at the end of it.
Dad jokes on dad jokes
Galore.
on dad jokes.
Coach speak all day. If you like sports, it doesn't matter if you're into football like this guy. It's worth watching. So that's number 1. Ted Lasso,
Calcio.
ending of
It's
that.
Called
for
soccer.
Calcio.
I got so confused when you just said into football like this guy, and I was like, what?
Calcio.
And I'm like,
Dwight,
oh, soccer.
I want to be clear. When Ted Lasso came on for the team, he didn't know what offsides in soccer was. But today,
I think
he
you
knows
still don't know what that
offsides
is.
in football
Do you know what
is.
offsides in football Calcio is?
I do know what offsides in soccer is.
Calcio.
But you know what's funny? I actually refereed soccer for like little kids,
You
and
know
I
what the
told
fuck
them
you were doing.
and like coaches were yelling at me like that's offsides, and I'm like it looked like a goal.
It's clean to me. I have no idea what's
you just
going
hate
on
points.
here.
That's what I'm hearing.
I coached soccer. I won a championship with a PK shootout that I like intentionally instituted in practice that we were just going to do PK shootouts. and we won on
every
it.
practice was a shoot.
I'm not even joking. So Robert Stutzman and I both coached soccer. It was senior year of high school, and Robert obviously ran everything. He knew what he was doing. This fat guy over here was just making sure the kids didn't
Is that K. Robert?
hurt themselves.
Is that K. Robert?
His name is Kenneth Robert Stutzman.
Could
so
be him.
I'm just saying.
We're not sure, but it could be him. If we find you.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, obviously we won a championship, and I'm very proud because Fletcher and oh my God, I can't remember the other kid's name who actually won it. They literally were the reasons we won because I did the PK shootouts and they knew how to do it correctly. You're getting very upset.
No, I'm not upset.
So tell us why Succession is tugging on your balls. Just because it's over.
Succession is tugging on my balls because out of 4 seasons, there is not a bad season. Each season touches on each of the Roy kids, and this last season really puts on the show's name Succession. And without spoiling it for everybody.
No, we're spoiling it because we gave the warning. We're spoiling. So if you've not seen Succession, skip past this part because we are spoiling it
Good
right
deal.
now.
So
I haven't seen a single episode
And you're not
of either
going to,
Ted
so we don't
Lasso
really
or
care.
Succession, but yeah, I'm never going to watch either one.
Yeah.
Succession is a brilliant show made up of terrible people who you constantly root for and feel bad that you're rooting for them because you know that they're not good people and they don't deserve whatever they're aiming to achieve, but they still tug at your heartstrings. The last episode just aired on Sunday, and we find out that Tom Wamsgans is technically the winner, although his life is going to be a living hell because he's going to be underneath Elon Musk-esque type personality who is going to decide if he's going to fuck his wife and or tell Tom Wamsgans how everything's going to be run. But
both,
he's the one
both.
who controls the power in his relationship with Shiv, who is Logan Roy, the main guy's daughter. And she's the one who constantly has all the power in the relationship. Not anymore. Tom Wamsgans, the plain Jane dude from Oklahoma or wherever the hell he's from, rose through the ranks to become
He goes from power bottom to power
CEO
top.
of one of the most powerful companies in this fictional world. And my God, does he deserve it other than Cousin Greg? Cousin Greg should have been on top of everybody. Just
If Cousin Greg, though, had become CEO, would that not have been just like Bran becoming king?
no, absolutely not. You know, the reason why is Greg worked his way up from the bottom. He was literally in the first episode throwing up inside of a dog suit at the theme park and weaseled his way close enough to go back and watch it. It's fucking hilarious. He's throwing up inside of a dog costume at the theme park. And that's how he starts. He's like, I'm getting my start into this company. So he works his way through the ranks over the years. He stays close and plays the game. That's the whole point. It's like Hamilton. He literally knows how to play the game.
But he doesn't, because literally the last move he made backfired to where he could have gotten completely ousted from the company.
You're not wrong. So that was kind of like the big turning point, was the fuck up of Greg playing both sides as he has been. He chose wrong. He chose Kindle. He chose the family that he thought could not lose. And instead, Tom Wamsgans could have fucked him. And Tom Wamsgans opens up his arms and says,
but
Do you have to use
but
all
here's
their
the thing.
full names? Like, do you have to keep saying their full name?
No, you
like,
don't.
I didn't know if like if you,
There's
Wamsgans
only-
is way too fun not
but
to
but if
say.
you watch the show, do you have to
No,
say
you do
everybody's
not.
first and
No,
last
absolutely
name?
not.
Cousin Greg is not his name.
Well, I didn't know. Is
You
it
absolutely
Greg?
don't. But
Old Greg?
here's the thing.
Old Greg.
Tom keeping Greg on, though, was not a unselfish move. Tom knew he needed a punching bag because he knew that he was going to be the Elon Musk character. What's his name? Remind me.
Oh my God, Madsen.
Yeah. He knew that Madsen was going to make his life hell, right?
Right.
And all the entire show.
So he's passing on.
Yes, the entire show,
abuse.
he was passing on his abuse to Greg.
Yes.
And so he was like, well, I know that my job is going to be miserable. I need to make sure that I have an outlet to abuse someone. And that is Greg.
I don't disagree. He tied his cart to the wrong horse with Kendall and the family, but he gets to be in the CEO position. Actually, I think they reference in the show, he is the highest paid assistant at $200,000. When you put that in perspective for that company,
when
it's
they
bottom
said that,
tier
you know
level.
what's hilarious is that like $200,000 is a great salary.
Oh, yeah.
But when I heard that, I was like, that's all he makes.
Everybody else around him are billionaires. And he is 200,000.
And he was so
year.
sad when Tom was like, you're going to take a big pay cut. And he was like, oh no. And I'm like, dude, you're still rich. But then again, it's 200,000. So I guess I get it. What was in it for Shiv to go against Kendall? What made her decide that voting against Kendall was the right move for her? Because that's what's still escaping me.
This season was proof that Rome and Kendall could not be trusted to include Shiv. If they had authority or they had power, Shiv was getting cut out. She was not going to be a part of the conversation. She did it to herself, but also they did it to her unintentionally and then intentionally later in the season. She realized as a sibling to those two fucks, I can't trust them. I don't have power or possession over them to control what they do. And frankly, I just don't want one of them to win over me. Mm-hmm. And so she said, I poured my heart and soul to Tom an episode ago about, do you want to give this a shot? He's got the authority and the ability to control that company. I have something left to give, whether it's in the company, outside of the company. I'm tethered to power still because Madsen and Tom technically have that power. Right?
What I do think is funny, though, is that she has become her mom, which is not what she has wanted to do. She is completely become, because she is now at the mercy of Tom.
Right.
And it's very ironic because I felt like the whole show she's trying to become Logan and not her mom, but she has become her mom.
Correct. And Kendall's trying not to become his dad, but he became everything about his dad except for the success.
Yeah.
He intentionally manipulated his brothers and his brother and his sister.
I'm the eldest boy.
Exactly.
I am the eldest boy.
Exactly.
Great show. Great show. No, I mean, it is sad that it's over. It tugged on my balls a little bit too, but I'm moving on to
Bigger and better things.
bigger and better thing. No, I'm moving on to the show that you wanted to talk about that I'm not going to let
Wait,
you.
real quick. Quick hit question. Being a parent of multiple kids and like if you have another kid, do you do you view any of that like oddly? Like how do you parse out things or how do you prioritize your children? Is it the firstborn gets more or is it just kind of like you spread it evenly? How depending what you have.
Whichever one's more athletic, I'm going to spend more time with developing
more love and care.
Whichever one's more intellectually intelligent, I'm going to put my efforts into that.
I have a son and a daughter, and I was always of the opinion I'm going to spoil my daughter. I'm going to make sure that her life is better than my son's because
really
she's
like
daddy's. She's kind of tough. She's kind of tough to love. So she's screeching. She hurts my ears. At least my son can articulate why he's mad, where she just yells at me and screams at me.
Is she 16? How old is she?
She is 16 months.
Yeah.
But she is tough to love.
Maybe give her.
But no, to answer your question, no, she's done. We're going to write
the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
to answer your question, I'm planning on keeping everything as even as possible. I think that's the only way to do it.
That's fair.
I try to think about it because even just like I thought about like if we were looking at moving and I'm like looking at like places like bedrooms, I'm like, oh crap, they're not all equal sizes and they're not all this. So like I want to be equal because I have two sons, just for background information. One is about to be 3 years old this month, and then the other's 4 months old. So obviously there's space between the two.
Sure.
But
who do you give the company to? Who do you give the bigger bedroom to?
I know, but like you're doing Succession. I was just kind of going with like this is the early parts of it. Yeah. It's like the starting stages of like it all starts here, and you think about like the psychological issue and stuff that can come down to like. And Brian's just staring at me like, motherfucker, you were the one. Like Fredo, it was you, Fredo. I know it was you.
If you want to get into this, we can get into this.
No.
We don't need to go.
So there was a point where Justin owned a red Volvo.
Yeah, Brian took a car off a jump before this happened, just so we're clear.
I owned a Toyota Camry that was shared by both of us.
And you took it off a fucking jump.
Volvo.
A jump.
And then I took mine off of a jump. So I, for about 2 months, did not have a vehicle at all.
You didn't deserve a vehicle.
Justin decided he wanted a black Volvo. Same year, same exact thing. Everything was the same, except for it was black.
Yeah.
And Brian, needing a car, didn't get the car that Brian wanted. Justin got the choice to get the black Volvo.
Brian had a hit.
Succession version 2 right here.
Volvo,
absolutely.
It's an old
My
Volvo.
mom picked Justin a long time
ago. No, she didn't. Actually, I'd say the oldest probably got picked, and then maybe I was second, if anything. But one thing I would say, say the vehicular destruction is probably what really set it up for you not to get the car that you wanted.
I'm curious.
At that point, the lack of love for me. But
you're going a little too hard.
So before we move on to the next topic, though, I do want to ask you this because I know where I stand. If you were Logan, let's say you are a billionaire businessman,
philanthropist, playboy,
you do it all. Yeah. You have a company. What do you do with it? Do you give it to the child that's the most deserving? Do you like sell it and say, "Here's the money, kids"? Like, what do you do if you are a billionaire business owner with your kids?
I mean, personally, I'm no fancy lawyer, businessman, whatever. But at the same time, I mean, I think about too, like with the business that I do, kind of thing too. Like even at that level, like what you do is probably look at whoever's going to do the best job with it, and whoever's going to keep it going. Because no matter what, I would imagine I would make sure there's something there. Everybody's going to be taken care of. And there's enough money to go around, it appears right now. So as long as people are taken care of, the person who's going to do the best job, and as long as those other people are still incorporated the proper way, is what I would say. I don't like, I mean, obviously there's going to be a shift in the balance because the person at the top who's doing the most work, or you would expect to do the most work, that person should be getting a little bit more.
Yeah,
maybe a decent amount, depending on what it takes. I haven't watched.
Brian, what is your thought?
I'm throwing it back to Dwight, and then I'm going to say I'm going to be last.
So if I was Logan, and here's where I think Logan was just the worst father you could possibly be, is that not only did he neglect his kids his whole life, but he at one point promised the company to each of them.
Yes.
He told each of them at some point, the company's yours. I want you to be the person. So he was just playing them. If I had been Logan, and again, it's hard to put myself in that position because I'm nowhere in that realm, is I would have told them from the beginning, this is my company. I built this. You will not get this. I will either pass it on. You'll still be rich. You're still going to be a millionaire.
So you're going to do the Bill Gates thing.
I'm going to do the Bill Gates thing to a degree where I will be like, you will get money. You will be taken care of, but I'm going to do what's best for the company. You're not getting it unless, you know what I'm saying? I don't want there to be this sibling rivalry.
If you really
I wouldn't even let them earn it. I'm like, if you want to own your own company, great. But this is my company. I will sell it. I will share the money with you.
You're about to die. Like, you realize you have less than 10 years of life left. You're not trying to set up one of your family members. No. If they have spent the time, energy, and effort over their lifetime to be able to fulfill that role for you.
Here's the thing is I don't want there to be sibling rivalry. I want to leave that out. So even if one sibling was more deserving, yes, it'd be great. You could come intern for the company. You can, maybe get your start at the company, but I would not
What if they work their way up?
No.
What if they...
Because it would still be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Bias.
Nepotism.
Nepotism. There would still be nepotism. It would be because, again, if you are that skilled and talented, you can go make your own thing. You don't have to ride my coattails. I would sell the company like he was going to sell it, right?
So I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I do have an issue with if I've invested my life into creating this thing that I identify as my legacy, not just my kids as my legacy, but this company as my legacy. I want it. I agree with the mentality that it's got to be somebody who's actually done the legwork to earn it. But if you're just outright saying it will never be my child because you need to go figure out your own thing, I appreciate what that is trying to say for that individual person of you need to grow like I grew when I created this and I was able to be successful. I want the same thing for you.
Like we're doing with this podcast. We're creating.
Yes, our kids will one day be sitting in this seat.
One day,
and they will take on this.
Yes, my daughter
they will one day inherit
right
all 12 of our subscribers.
Talking about sharding and
dinos.
Yes,
I'm a T-Rex.
All right, but anyways, that's my answer. My answer is I would tell them up front as soon as they could understand words. This company will never be your company. You will be taken care of financially, but don't go fighting about who's going to be the next CEO, who's going to be the next dad. None of you will be. That would be my answer.
I hope you're proud of yourself because what you've done is proved without a shadow of a doubt you are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
Great. All right. Brian, what do you think?
Honestly, you have to earn it. If you want it, I want to see that you want it and that you're willing to do the legwork. You're right. When you get out of college, when you've actually made grades and you've applied yourself, you're not just going to have a free ride. You're not just going to have fun. You're not going to go to college and have it paid for by daddy. You're going to do the right thing early on. And if you've proven that to me, you're welcome to come work for my company.
What if both of your kids do that? And when you say work for it, now I don't have a problem. I would not have a problem with either, like, if my kids wanted to work at the company, I would not have a problem with that. I'm saying if you want to take over the company.
My point is, when I specifically was talking about this for you, was you've had kids that invested their time, energy, and effort into your company, weren't forced out. Like I think we're trying to say is that you need to go find your own thing. You need to go fix or, build your own empire. I'm saying you do the legwork, you spend the time. I imagine, because actually Graham's funeral put in perspective for me, how many of my friends have mommies and daddies that have companies that they have jobs in. Why the fuck did you go to college when you knew that you were going to already roll into that position anyway?
To have a good time.
Right, exactly. And that's the truth. That's exactly my point. Is I had so many friends who didn't care about grades. One of them's missing here today because he wanted to have a good time. He didn't care about school. It was, how good of a time can I possibly have? If you prove to me that you're applying yourself, that you do genuinely care about the company that I built, then I want you in. And if you are the right person when it's time for me to step away, leave, die, I want that person that is my family to take over. If it's not the best person for the job, you're not going to be the CEO.
Let's say that you're in the same position as Logan, where not saying that any of his
Three
kids were
fuck-ups.
Well, let's back up. I mean, none of them were qualified. Not like we can agree with that.
Kendall being the most entrenched in the job itself, but no, I don't think because of his lifestyle as a child, he was never going to be able to be a Tom Wamsgans who really earned it.
But let's take it. Let's take it this way. Let's say you have 2 or 3 qualified children that they've shown they are willing to work. They are qualified. They want it. How do you pick?
So there's a terrible word called co.
Oh yeah, they're gonna love that.
And I legitimately hate that. Like for my life, because
but now that you're dad,
anything means nobody's doing any work. Like everybody's obfuscating responsibilities to the other person and nobody did anything. So I agree with that mentality. However, you could, but I very easily could pick. I can identify who's working the hardest, and I'll tell the person to their face why they're not working as hard as Kendall at trying to be CEO. Yeah. I love you equally, but I'm telling you, you're not serious people.
Rough.
But if
that's a great tugging at your balls. What were you going to say?
No,
Justin?
but I was going to say, but also like if I know, like, and maybe it's just I view things differently when it comes to like, this is a little bit cheesy, but since I became a dad, to me, there's nothing more important than my child. Like any business, anything I do, like
which one? Which child?
Both of my children, but my point is, if I have an opportunity to leave them something like that, and then
I thought you were just gonna say when I have an opportunity to leave them, I'll take it.
I'm out of here.
I'll take it.
I'm out of here, brother. No, but if I have the opportunity to leave them, and like I said, the basic level, I know they're qualified, I know that they could do something like that, then absolutely I would do it. Picking between the two would be very difficult. I know I have a lot more time invested with my first child so far, but again, over time you'll see who has some more potential. But again, it would be so much harder for me.
Rough.
The word potential.
You guys are rough. See, my thing before we move on, I just want to avoid this. I know that there would be someone's going to get butthurt, and I want to make it clear that
I hope it's not your daughter.
She's
well, that's coming one day or the other.
But I want to avoid it as soon as possible.
Okay.
I want to make it clear as soon as possible that look, none of you are going to get it. Now, again, if the time comes where one child is completely uninterested and completely like, I don't want to do this, and the other child has shown that they do,
right?
Then that makes it an easy decision. But just to avoid there being this competitive, like slit throat, the siblings hate each other, they don't trust each other.
Right.
Just be like, none of you are getting it, just so you know. Yeah. Like you're all going to be taken care of. You're all going to be rich. I'm going to make sure that you have a comfortable life.
Yeah.
But don't go cutting each otother's throats over this company because I'm not giving it to you.
See, if I were the kid at that point, I'd feel like dad kind of bleeped out a little bit at that point. Like I feel like he did a little bit of like he took the easy way out. Like because not
by giving me millions of dollars, not making me fight for a job.
But if what if these kids are like kids that are like all in, love their career, love their job, all in on this company, and instead you said, well, instead of you all backstabbing each other, which I mean, hopefully they wouldn't be doing that, but instead of you all fighting, trying to get the top spot, I'm just not going to give it to anybody. That seems kind of like, why am I working this hard? Like if they love the company,
because you're an idiot. I've told you from the beginning, you are not getting this job. Go start your own company. Go to your other business. Work the ranks up. You're wasting your time. I've told you this from the beginning. You're wasting your time. So you're not that smart. Because you're not listening to me.
Well, there's also part of me too, like as I've gotten older, where like again, I'm not saying that I don't want to pursue whatever my career kind of thing, but at the same time, like my values are not like I don't get all my value out of work. Like my job is to provide for my family, so I can spend time loving being with my family.
Yeah,
for the most part.
That's why they're at home while we're doing this.
Exactly. That's why I haven't seen my kids in weeks.
Yeah. No, it makes you better dad. It makes you better dad. The less you're around your kids, the better you are.
The time you get with them, though, you're going to appreciate it. And you're going to enjoy it.
Amen, brother. All right. So, Justin, is something tugging at your balls, or you want them talked about what's tugging on mine?
I'll talk about mine real quick. And this is going to be because I don't know how much you guys are really going to want to like go into this. But to me, it's a lot of it sports wise. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of the, I guess, just what's being perpetuated when it comes to Louisville athletics, and also kind of with Juventus too, but you all don't know anything about Juventus, so I'll save that for the other channel. If you haven't already, go check out Bianconeri Zone, at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. But anyway, with our YouTube channel. But when it comes to Louisville,
where's your like stale fart button that we could push for that?
that wasn't that. I believe that was actually a. Let me just make sure real quick. That was a record scratch. But it also would work in that situation because that's what I did to the program that you're watching. But anyway, when it comes to Louisville, there's a lot of things going already right now with a lot of the local media or people pushing the acceptance. So Kenny Payne has a top 5 recruiting class. I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah,
extend him, dude.
Okay,
lock it in.
That's not what I want. That's the opposite of what I want. I want him fired now. I want him fired 2 months ago. I want him out. Stop bringing me Spider-Man. Anyway, I'm J. Jonah Jameson when it comes to Kenny Payne. Basically, is what I'm saying. But for the most part, there's expectations of they're setting now, saying 12 wins, 15 wins. And they're saying, well, look at this. Last year, 4 wins. That's an improvement.
That's 3 times as many wins.
We just do double.
But to have a serious conversation instead of just being like sarcastic about it, my point is how ridiculous that sounds, especially when you're going to come up to me and have the exact same argument saying, well, last year doesn't count. Last year doesn't count because it was a whatever year. It was a throwaway year.
Rebuilding.
So if it's a throwaway year, you can't do the same thing and say you can't reference last year.
You know what?
You can't reference 4 wins. You got to reference the 2 years before that where they won 13 games or whatever.
And Kenny wasn't present.
Huh?
And Kenny wasn't present.
Yeah, but that's what you got. But my point
As
is,
a U of L fan, all you have to do is point to Coach Cal's first year. He took over a team that went to the NIT and made them the #1 team in the country going into the tournament.
and should have won the championship that year.
Well, we could say that every year of Cal's thing, but
Country
again, all you have to do.
Oh wait, was that Tennessee? No, it was West Virginia.
West
Yeah,
Virginia.
Tennessee was the SEC tournament. Okay, yeah.
Anyways, all I'm saying is it is very possible in today's like college basketball to turn a team around in a year. So
It's much easier now.
Yeah, it's even easier than it was before. Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
The portal.
It's true. I mean, that's a 12 win season would be not successful.
You know what's great is he got like no guys from the portal. Like it's all like freshman players. So so we're gonna have the Calipari. They're young. I'm gonna come in here and tell you guys they're young. And that's what I'm like, bro. That's your thing. That's what
He
you
just
do.
refuses to adapt, or what?
I don't know. Calipari doesn't even have a team. He has 7 players right now. He doesn't even have a team for next year.
Oscar's gone. Livingston's gone. He
struck out 1, 2, 3, and then Reeves is gonna go somewhere else.
I hope not.
I'm pretty sure Reeves is going
if Reeves
somewhere
leaves,
else.
we might be in the same boat as you guys.
Yeah, like basketball is basically dead in the Bluegrass State. The Commonwealth, it's done.
Great time to start a podcast.
It is a great time to talk about UK and U of L. That's why we talk about anything but UK and U of L for this part. Anyway, that's my frustration. That's what's tugging at my balls. It's going to be tugging at my balls once the season starts and whatever. The only reprieve that I have is hopefully Jeff Brom and the football team is going to be better than what I've seen. I mean, everything seems like it's going to be a pretty good team, but I'm not going to act like they're going to win 11 games.
And just for our viewers, once football and basketball starts, you're going to hear a way more like UK U of L talk.
A lot of
we're going
bitching
to
and
be
moaning.
we're going to be analyzing every football game, every basketball game.
I was thinking we could do like some watch-alongs or something
I think
like that
that'd be
too.
awesome.
I think that'd be really good to have some live watch-alongs, which means you need to watch what you say throughout the game.
Or just watch the highlights.
Or just
come with the takes. Just show up with the takes.
We can just have Ashton in the background, just eating buffalo wings.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ashton, that's me. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, if you and it'll be just Dwight and me sitting here watching the game, and you two just eating and
Is
drinking.
Lamar still playing for U of L?
I hate you. Okay, Dwight, tell me what's tugging at them testes.
Gosh. All right, guys. So this is talk, now we can talk like men. This is getting a little bit into the women range, but there's times when things cross over genres, right? Like if a huge country song hits, you're going to hear it on pop radio because it is that much of a banger that they have to play that country song.
Toes in the water, ass in the sand, not a worry in the world. A cold beer in my hand,
Life
it's
is
a
good
Bud
today.
Light.
Life is good today.
It's a Bud Light.
But today,
I feel gay today.
Today, I cannot escape the Vanderpump Rules drama. It is taking over social media. It's taking over my household. My wife makes me watch it because she has to have someone to talk to about
Makes you watch it.
So she does.
I'm going to be really honest. I did not know Vanderpump was a word, let alone a TV show, let alone it's been on for like 10 seasons.
Vanderpump, are those the twins from like the Facebook movie?
No.
That tried to steal Facebook?
Vanderhaas.
Vanderhaas.
Vanderhaas. Is that what it is?
So let me give you a little bit of pretext.
Wait, is that
so
the
let me give you a
school
little
in Tennessee, Nashville?
Vanderpump Rules. Let
Okay.
me tell you about it.
Let's talk like men about Vanderpumps.
It's been tugging at my balls about it. So here's the thing. Lisa Vanderpump, you've all heard about Real Housewives.
So fine.
You've all heard about the Real Housewives, right? On Bravo. You've heard about Real
I know
Housewives.
it because of your wife. That's the
So
only
anyways,
reason.
Yeah, your wife is the only reason. Like, my wife doesn't watch any of that. I don't know.
Lisa
wife doesn't
Vanderpump
either,
is one of the OG. She's one of the OG Real Housewives. She's an older lady, super rich, has
Bad
like
bitch.
all these businesses. No, she's not, but she's whatever. She came to Bravo.
Would you though?
No.
Like, if she said,
just-
Dwight, my money.
Is this tugging at your balls or is this tugging at my balls?
I was gonna say,
Whose balls
let
are
it
this
tug
tugging
at
I
his
at?
might be
balls.
tugging at your balls
This
here in a
is-
sec.
So here's the thing. She came to Bravo and she said, listen, I own this bar and the employees there are so hot and they all sleep with each other and they all have this huge drama. You need to be filming them. And they took a chance and they did. And it has been super successful because instead of all these old rich ladies that are always complaining and
hot people,
bickering.
hot young
no,
people.
and now it's the hot dudes, hot chicks. So anyways, the current drama, one of the like OGs, his name is Tom Sandoval. He has been dating one of the other OGs, Ariana. They've been dating for 9 years. Like they aren't married, but they consider themselves to be life partners. Let's say it that way.
That's cute.
Ariana's best friend is Rochelle. She's a little bit new to the show, right? They're best friends. Tom started sleeping with Rochelle and had been sleeping with her for like 9 months behind Ariana's back, and it just like blew up. And now everyone knows it has been the biggest like scandal in almost, I would say, Bravo history. And it has been drama after drama after drama.
So this guy who's not married to this girl, but they've essentially
yes.
been married because they're life partners.
Correct.
And now the chick is upset because he's banging some other person.
No, not some other person. Her best friend.
Oh.
Her best friend. He's banging her best friend.
Scandalous. Justin's got crickets going.
Yeah, you don't like it? Well, all I have to say is social media, you check it out. Everyone's talking about this drama. And it has been
I've
insane.
never heard of this.
I got a
until this
question.
moment.
I got a question.
No, I'm sorry. I haven't. I'm not saying it's terrible. I just don't.
There's only two things that matter. One, how hot is the 9-year-old girlfriend?
Nine-
Or whatever.
9-year-old?
They've been together for 9 years.
So-
The 9-year relationship
Okay, that's
girlfriend.
Here's
Same
another.
picture
So here's
you got.
another thing to keep in mind is
Wow,
you
you
had your
answered my
OGs.
question. Okay.
I'll get to it. This is going to get to answering your question.
Okay.
We're going to take the long
So
cool.
so the OGs of the show, they started like 9-10 years ago on the show, right? Ariana and Tom are the OGs. So
How
they're
old?
Tom is pushing 40. He's almost 40.
Okay, so he's not like super attractive, but he's like.
I mean, but he
hanging
still
in there.
looks young, and
Good for him.
he's a huge narcissist, like
Yeah.
major narcissist.
I'm sure all of them are.
Yeah,
but
oh,
okay,
of course,
right.
of course. Ariana's kind of the same boat. You know what I mean? Like she's been around the show for a bit,
She's
so
same
she's
age,
getting a little bit.
younger?
Yeah, she's getting about the same age. So she's
Gotcha.
probably like in her late 30s.
Would you say like Don Lemon that maybe she's not in her prime anymore? Or?
She is on the. Her prime has been over. She's like she's LeBron. She's LeBron.
You are
She's
LeBron.
still
It's time to hang it up
Hey,
before
she
it
can
gets-
still put up a triple double, but she's not in her prime years. She's not winning MVPs.
Right, because women aren't good after what
I'm just-
35. Right?
It's mostly
Yeah.
personal. It's just personal.
All
stats
I'm
that
saying
she's
is,
tallying.
but all I'm saying is this:
So
Rochelle
terrible.
is newer to the show. The only way to get into the show if you weren't an OG is to sleep with someone on the show.
Oh, okay.
That's the only way to get on the
Right.
show is to sleep with someone who
But this
is on the
person's
show.
been the other person's best friend for how long? Or was it
A
made
few
up for the
years.
show?
Well, so here's the thing. So the girl that he slept with, she was engaged to someone else on the show.
oh, good.
Yes.
Yes.
And they broke up their engagement, but because she was already engaged, like people started to like her, so people started getting like involved, invested in this person.
Yeah.
And so she became best friends with Ariana, and then she slept with Ariana's life partner,
Oh, my
Tom.
God.
And so now they're doing the reunion.
You don't feel like
and
this is
it's just-
staged at all. I see the writing on the wall where it was like, we need some fucking fresh blood.
But the only thing,
I
the
think
only
almost
thing is
all
this.
reality TV at this point
It's
is
staged to a degree.
scripted.
I agree it's staged to a degree. The only thing that gives me pause about it being staged completely is they were together for 9 years. And now they're not. And so to break up a relationship over a show that's been involved for 9 years is a little much.
So hold on, you're saying that they were together for 9 years and Ariana didn't break up until after she slept with him, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, I mean, that makes logical sense. They're not together because the chick, but I mean, you can also say that you're not together, but still be together because it's a fucking TV show. But
my thing is, I don't think that they would stage a 9-year relationship ending in a.
I'm not saying they
drama
staged
that way.
9 years of relationship. I'm saying they staged this other chick to come in and say, "Oh, they banged," and
She
now
didn't
we
come
got
in.
lots of
She
drama.
didn't come in. She'd been around
She didn't
for a
let him
bit.
come in. Oh,
But anyways, that is what's been tugging on my balls. I'm Team Ariana all the way. Ariana, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for what Tom did to you.
what
I just want to say
ethnicity
that.
is it? Ariana.
What's that?
Ariana, it's a beautiful name. What ethnicity?
Are you trying to make sure it's okay?
Yeah, I got to make sure I can't say certain things.
What?
What is Ariana?
What
Is she-
ethnicity is Ariana?
Ariana,
Does she
she's
have
white.
Okay,
She's
but
completely
what
white.
kind of white?
Like,
what kind of white?
she's not
White.
like-
She's us white.
like
Latina,
English white,
Hispanic,
like
American.
Italian white,
Okay, if she's filling out a resume,
Norwegian.
like if she's filling out an application, she would click white, Caucasian,
Caucasian.
and
No Hispanic background. Okay, gotcha.
There you go.
What ethnicity is Rochelle?
So,
I'm so surprised.
no. She's also the same. But she is. But here's the thing: her name is
I know
actually
Rochelle that's
her
very
name is
white.
actually Rachel. But for the show, she wanted to like Joe Dierte,
French it up.
yeah,
my
class it up, and change her name to Rochelle for the show.
Is it spelled exactly the same, but
Yes.
you pronounce
Yes.
it different?
Yeah.
No,
I swear.
it's spelled like Rachel.
Yeah. Yes.
hate
Her
this-
name
I
is
hate this
Rachel.
bitch.
My name is
I don't know anything about her.
Brian.
Yeah,
I want
Brian.
to go by Brian from now on.
Yeah.
guys.
But what's hilarious too is literally when they asked Tom, they were like, "Well, why did you do that?" And he was like, I mean, like Ariana, she could have literally followed me and found out that like I was doing this. So he like blamed her for not like.
Why didn't you
basically
try to
following-
look this up
he was like,
faster?
you didn't really like put in much effort to catch me, so I don't know why you're acting surprised. But anyways, that's what's been tugging on my balls. Vanderpump Rules. The drama is real.
What a
Team
waste
Ariana.
of time. What a waste of time.
For like talking about that on this podcast.
I mean, it's
or for,
beautiful
like,
that you and
it's live, like watching
you
that.
and your wife can share enjoying a shitty, trashy TV show. But what a waste of think of all the productivity that you could be doing
It's great.
instead of
No,
watching
I cannot tell you how often I will look at Allison watching a certain show, like a Real Housewives show, and I will look at her and I'll be like, why? Why are you doing this? Why do you not have enough drama in your life that you just have to like take in all this other crap?
Like, but she's always been watching that kind of stuff. I remember it was Big Brother. I remember we went to South Carolina. Big Brother, we had to watch that every night.
Yep.
I'm going to stick up for Allison on this
Big
one.
Brother's
because
actually
Actually, I did watch Big Brother after that. After that, I watched it like a few times. I was like, this is actually not that bad. It's not
maybe the reason why she doesn't have all that drama in her life is because she filters it through the TV show. And she says, I don't have to have that
It's
drama.
so sad.
Good for her.
It's so sad.
yeah.
But anyways,
I get-
that's what's been tugging on our balls this week.
know
Let
what's
us know
better
if it's
is my-
tugging on your balls as well.
What's better is that my wife doesn't watch the show and doesn't have that kind of drama in her life. So
That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
That's
well,
awesome. You got something
good. No, I
good tell.
have no idea, but I'm like, I feel like she could probably. You maybe don't know about the work life. Maybe does she tell you everything? Like, are there any bitches at work that she just doesn't like?
She tells me everything.
Oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, they do.
I don't have an option. I get told.
Oh, yeah, well, Tamsin does talk, but yeah, but
I don't talk about work life
Yeah,
at all.
I don't either. Well,
I literally have nothing to say. I come home, I like want to just
You're
not
gonna get
think
hit
about
with
that
it.
stuff.
You're gonna get hit with it
And all
immediately.
I'm gonna hear is everything
That happened that day.
happened at work, like the minutia
from the donut that she had when she
Yes.
first walked in.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what talking like men
That's
is
actually
about.
that's
bitching
actually
about
yeah. This is
homework.
us bitching now because we
Yes.
can't bitch at home. Actually,
Yeah.
this is the one reason I want my wife to be a stay-at-home mom because like all that she can tell me is that her kids were bad, and that's it. There's no other people that are getting involved.
So you
I
want
don't-
to keep her like locked in a cage, which is your house.
I don't want her to have any
I don't
life
want any
experiences.
interaction.
Yeah.
I don't want to give her
don't
the
have to
option to
listen
bang
to
other
it.
It's not
guys.
that, well, yeah, it's not that I don't want her to have the experiences. If she can learn to keep them to herself,
But she can't learn. She just can't learn.
well-
So I have to lock her in in this house to teach her a lesson.
I mean,
women aren't allowed to learn. They're not allowed to have jobs. They're not allowed. They shouldn't. They should. Honestly, it's kind of a travesty that they're working nowadays.
I love the income. I'm not gonna lie. I love the income.
Actually, yeah,
I want her to work more. I want Allison. I keep telling her, I'm just like, listen.
Yeah. If
work more.
If it were possible for her just to be able to only work and then me not have to work, I would do that if I could.
I'm not gonna lie. If
like, if
there's
the
a
job was
possibility here of that happening, I have the best chance.
Yeah, but
because like real talk, her job has the prospect of actually making where I can just be a stay-at-home dad.
That's great.
That sounds miserable.
But what if
I would rather work.
This podcast is going to be so successful that this is going to be our job anyway. Sorry, the attorney stuff, it's done. You're done. We're going to be doing this every day. Wife, I'm going to work. This is what I'm doing. I'm going over to Dwight's.
Got to go talk about PPs and tutus.
Vanderpumps, whatever the fuck that
at
is.
Barstool. I mean, this is Barstool Sports, so yeah. Anyway.
So that's what's been tugging on our balls, but
pop some Vander.
we have more dude talk, and this is going to be called dude debate, where I think that there's certain things that guys do, and we're a little bit like, do other dudes do this? Is this acceptable? Is this normal behavior? And I've had a number of life events where I'm like, is this what other dudes do, or is this what I do?
Yeah.
And so that's what we're here to do. We're here to air our
Am
grievance.
I doing this because my dad didn't teach me right from wrong? Oh, I didn't have a dad.
Am I doing this because Daddy didn't love me?
Yeah.
Is that why I didn't? That's why I don't know what a vagina is? Because Daddy never taught me. When
All right, let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
So anyways, I'm going to tell you guys about this was a pivotal moment in my life because it blew my mind, and it happened in a public atmosphere, and it embarrassed me. And I want to know where you guys are.
You busted enough for the first time in public?
No, wrong. But that would have been even better. So here's what happened. So I'm in a law firm with other attorneys. At the time, I am 27. I'm well into my adult life. I feel like pretty confident that I'm doing everything the right way. I know how my body works. I know.
You've done it a lot.
I've lived a decent life. Like I know, I feel confident in myself.
A lot of days gone by.
And so I'm working at a law firm, and with other attorneys I respect, and like we decided, hey, let's go get beers after work. Most of us are associates, so we're the younger attorneys, a couple younger partners. We go out and we start doing what people do after work. We start talking about other people in the office.
Shit talking.
Yeah, we're talking crap about all the other attorneys.
Talking like men.
And we're talking about, oh man, this dude, every time he's in the bathroom, he's blowing up the toilet. I can't go in there when Joe's in there. He's just gonna, just crap his pants. And I said,
While he's
you know
in the
what?
Bathroom? He's gonna crap.
He's gonna crap his pants in the bathroom.
He won't even make it to the stall. He walks in the door and
you made it that close.
But and I thought I had something hilarious to contribute. Yeah. And so I was like, dude, this one partner, he walks in, and every time he walks in, I notice he doesn't take his pants off. He unzips his zipper, and he just starts peeing through his zipper hole. Like, how lame is that? And everyone pretty much looked at me like
horrified, like we're doing right now.
Like, what is going on? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, man, he doesn't like unbutton his.
You don't go bare ass twice.
No.
Do you drop your doors like it's
they're
like
all
a 3-year-old?
They're all looking at me like, and I'm like, wait. I was like, I pull it over the belt. And you all are looking at me the same way that they looked at me, which is that is the right way. That is the right way to pee. Explain to me again. I was embarrassed then. I'm a little embarrassed now. But explain to me why in the world you would prefer to pull it through your zipper than go over the belt.
Dwight?
Women also have zippers. Dude.
Yeah, I know, but that's like to actually because men come first. And women just get products that are secondary to the men's products. So
no, I think it's because most jeans and equipment like that, your fat ass wouldn't fit all the way into, unless you had that to open up and give you a little bit more of a birth opening to come through.
Right.
That's
so explain to me, is that really what you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely every time.
Right now. I thought I knew who you were.
No,
I'm not even joking.
No, you're wrong.
I want to know from our listeners, how do you do it? Here's the thing. If you are wearing shorts, athletic shorts, there's no zipper, you have to do it that way. So why would you not be consistent? Why would you not be consistent?
Did you grow up most of your life just living or wearing like athletic shorts? Is that all you wore?
Here's the thing. Have you ever not?
Do they not have pants?
Have you not watched There's Something About Mary? That whole scene where he gets his penis stuck in the zipper. That could have been avoided if he had just gone just like I go. You
So
pull it
you
over the
knew
belt.
that scene occurred and that was the proper way to do it, because something about Mary came out long before you were 27 years old, and
Yeah, you said
didn't
it.
think.
I just want to make it sound
He
like
just
he said
bleeped
something.
you for saying 27.
That's
but
fair.
Yeah.
You like. I'm so confused. Hold on. So you knew in other movies and TV shows that people did it that way.
No,
and you still thought it was wrong.
It was wrong because he
got hurt.
it cut. Yeah, he
But
got
there's
hurt.
a reason why he got it cut, because that's
Because
the
he
right way to
shouldn't.
do it.
No, he got hurt because he did it the wrong way.
No, the joke-
If he had done it the right way, he would not have gotten
No,
hurt.
the joke in the movie-
Explain to me this. Why would you pull it through the zipper when you're wearing pants, but you would pull it over the belt when you're wearing athletic shorts? Why
me-
don't you just do it the same every single time?
Because there is no opening in the athletic shorts.
Then keep it consistent. You don't have to think about it. You just flop it out. You pull it out. You
Dwight,
flop it out.
do you wear a belt when you go to work?
Yes.
Do you undo
so you
your belt
do your
every
belt
time?
and everything?
Yes.
Or are you able to sneak it in like underneath?
There's only one time where I have to undo my belt, and
Yeah.
that's when I'm taking a shit. And guess what? It's never gonna happen.
You're waiting
unless
till
it's
you
at
get
my
home.
house.
Yeah, I don't poop. I don't poop in public places either.
You're telling me that you undo your belt every time that you piss?
Yes.
What a waste of time.
It's
Think
not a
of
waste
how
of time.
productive you could be if
Do you
you,
know how-
didn't waste those seconds.
I think OSHA should come in and tell you how unsafe it is of what you're doing, because you could get hurt in the workplace, and I don't think workers' comp should like accommodate that.
I want
I'm
to be clear.
shocked.
If
Like,
this
I'm
isn't
shocked
a
right
bit,
now.
like this is
This
real.
is not a bit whatsoever.
You're not just like creating this for content.
I will
I
give
thought
you
Justin
references.
dabbing his pee-pee was bad.
Hey, we're gonna get to that. That's gonna be the
That'll
next
be a
dude
topic
debate.
in the
That's gonna be
future.
the next dude debate. But
Yeah, that's
listen,
not bad.
tell
It's
us in the
people that have
comments,
to do
how
it.
do you take a piss at work? Do you go over the belt or do you go through the zipper?
You go
If
there
you're-
with the
Do you,
zipper.
do
Do
you
we have
do
any
you
other
understand how-
psychopaths that piss like Dwight?
I want to put you on a list for that.
Do
Like,
you know
that
how
is-
much extra work you guys are doing? Like you're talking about the belt.
No, you're
but
doing
you
the more
have to
work.
go. You have to fish it out. You have to go in there and like fish it out through there.
You
I just
fish it
flop
out too?
No,
You-
I just flop it out.
You just pull
I
it down
flop it out.
far enough. That
Yes.
I
It's
didn't
the
do my
same.
belt and
You-
I just
Tell me
pulled my
this.
asking-
When you do this, does any ass cheek come out when you do
No.
this? Not at all. Not even like the top part of it.
Do you guys not ever take a piss when you're wearing athletic shorts? It's the same exact concept.
Well, this okay.
The same.
One thing that could also affect this is like the fat guy, like us wearing pants and him wearing pants may feel very different because like we got like
I
the
was
thick
good-
legs.
yes, go for it.
So like we
Yes.
have the thick legs and like there's fat in that section that makes it a little less comfortable to
Is it
move
a
things
fat
around.
versus skinny
And
thing?
maybe it's
Fat
like, maybe
guys,
if I was-
respond how you
no,
piss.
I mean,
Skinny
honestly,
guys, respond how you piss.
Like maybe if I was skinnier, this fluid motion would be so much easier that I'd just be like, oh, there you go. I have so much room out
I
here.
cannot tell you how easy it is. And you know what's funny is we were at the bar.
I don't even have a front
we were at the bar and we were having
Yes.
this talk, right? We're having this talk and everyone's looking at me flabbergasted. And one of the like younger partners who, again, this is embarrassing because the partners are who you're trying to impress when you're an associate. He looks at me and he goes, I mean, yeah, my 7-year-old son pisses like you. And I didn't know what to say.
I think
correct.
I think everybody, if they leave a comment in here and they hear that, they will 100% agree with him and with us. Yes, only children do that.
Dwight,
You're
please
gonna get-
teach your child correctly. Please don't let him be made fun of
Don't
in
let-
school
don't let
because he
him-
goes bare ass every single day.
no one is
Till he's fucking
exposing their
27
butt.
years
Dude,
old.
no
What if,
one is
like,
exposing
what if,
their butt.
Wait, what if Dwight goes in the bathroom and like what he actually does, drops him all the way down, ass hanging out.
Has to
He
be.
pulls his shirt up here. He's like,
Do you know how much?
He's holding it, and
Do you know
he's
how
just
much of a power move that would be, though? If every time you go in, Dwight is just bare ass,
Fuck you.
and you have nothing you can do about it because I'm the boss. That would be if I ever became the
If
boss
you
of a
were- yeah,
company.
if you were the-
I'm doing
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm
do it.
absolutely doing that. But listen, here's the thing: you guys are acting like this is crazy,
It is.
but
It's fucking insane.
you do it.
No,
but
no.
you do it.
You do it as a
when
toddler.
No, you do it today as an adult when you wear athletic shorts. Do you? You're
don't
wearing
know.
athletic shorts today. How would you pee right now? You would.
With my
For those-
boner.
For those who couldn't see, I pulled the shirt, the pant leg up. and
You
just
know
let
that
my dick
you're
hang out.
Justin. You have a tiny penis.
Yeah,
it
so-
would not.
Yeah. You have a tiny penis.
So, anyways, do debate. We've had the debate. It's 2 against 1. But listen, I'm in the right, and when you're right, you're right. So, do you tell us in the comments how do you take a piss? Do you do it where you're safe? where you are not going to get hurt? Or do you do it by having to go through all these holes to fish out your tiny little pee-pee to take a pee? Tell us in the comments.
Like, if all your fears come from movies,
no,
or more specifically, fears come from something about Mary, are you also worried about like using hair gel? Like what
hair gel?
What kind of hair gel it is?
I'm not worried about hair gel. I am worried about getting cum on my hand and then putting it in my hair. That's a fear.
Has that ever happened?
No. Because I'm very sanitary with how I do things.
It's
like,
not happened to me either because I don't have hair.
Well, yeah. Well,
you never want to put lotion on your head.
Like, I know what happens to, like, boxers or socks or something. If you get a little too much on it, it hardens. But like, does it actually harden your hair? Like, do people know?
Yeah.
Like, is this actually accurate?
So my son, when he puts his hand in my hair, if I've had
your son's hair?
No, when my son puts his hand in my hair after I've put like gel in it, he's like, "Why do you have wood in your hair?" And I'm like, "I don't. I have gel in it."
Dad, why do you have wood?
Dad. Well, that's why you're here, son. All right, so tell us what you think, guys.
That's how we got here.
Oh,
that's
we're gonna move on.
Well, son, I got some wood. That's why you're here.
Like, that's why you're in the room right now. Come on.
All right, let's move on. We've got
No. Hold on. Before we move on,
I really want to move on because I do think I'm in the minority, even though I know I'm in the right.
You finally admitted defeat.
I am. No, I'm not admitting
You
defeat.
understand.
I will be Jon Snow.
You're not
just in the Battle of the Bastards, and I will have my sword.
Oh, we're coming at
and
you.
I will tell you that you're wrong.
You're not a secret genius. Like,
When
you understand you're a psychopath. There's something wrong with you.
Sociopath kind of
and I don't know if it was because your dad didn't teach you, or if you're just mentally like not connecting. Like your
I operate on a higher. Yes, it is a beautiful mind. I operate on a higher level that you can't possibly understand.
You at least think you do.
That is the thing. Every time
if it was more efficient, I would like be like, oh my gosh, I'm mind blown.
It is more efficient.
But I would have to unbuckle my freaking belt. I'd have to ensure that my pants stay up, and I'd have to like.
If you were a fat guy saying this, if Brian said that or I said that, I'd look at him like he was Alan from The Hangover. Right. That's what I would think about him. And that's what I think. I kind of starting to think about that about you.
All right, guys. Well, listen. When you get your wiener stuck in your zipper, don't cry to me. I don't want to hear it. I'm not going to have any sympathy.
I have scratched it before.
I don't think there could ever be a more universally understood thing discussed on this podcast.
Yeah.
To show that Dwight is absolutely, completely wrong.
Yeah.
And I feel sorry for you that it took 27 years for other grown men to tell you you're fucking up.
Yeah, this is the first time, like, I'm glad you're not a defense attorney.
I'm sad that I was a good enough friend to be there for you.
I would find at least one juror that would get me a hung jury because I'm also
all I need is one.
You're hung, I'm hung, just a hung jury. Let's go.
Oh, no.
So, anyways,
because you're not hung, that's why it's so easy.
No, it's
so your question when you're talking to the jury pool is, who pees?
Would any of you?
I know one of you is going over the belt. I know for a fact.
I'm sorry.
I know for a fact.
Oh, it's a madam. Okay.
What is a madam? No. Anyways,
Exhibit A, we're all going to the bathroom together. We're gonna work this out.
Justin, how would you take a piss right now if you had to go pee?
I told you. I already did. I lifted those shorts up.
What would you do?
Yes, for these shorts that have elastic in them for my fat ass, I would pull them and I'd pull it down and I'd let my nuts hang out and everything.
Would your butt be exposed? Would your butt be exposed?
Might as well be.
Sometimes it may be.
It's good for air circulation.
It does.
When you're as fat as we are,
you gotta get some
ventilation.
That's a fart from last week. How did that not get out of there? Okay, my question is this. Wait. When you pull your pants down, is it just the shaft or do you get the whole, everything comes out at once?
Usually the balls come with it.
They come, because they usually come with it. Comfortable. Your balls would be tucked under the belt part, and it would be, it would work well.
They usually come with it.
Okay.
Hey, but listen, you guys think I'm crazy? Wait till we get to the next dude debate where we're going to talk about what this dude does.
Oh,
so
no.
just wait. That's going to give you a little preview. Just saying. But tell us in the comments. I know one of you guys are pulling it over the belt. There's one of you out there.
Person in the world out there.
I know I'm not the only smart man alive, and so I know there's another smart man out there that is doing the same thing I'm doing. Guys, we got to transition.
Let's get in. When this short comes out, it's going to be on your collaboration. You're going to be collabing with it.
It's
going on your page.
Dude, listen, I am comfortable in my man. And that night, I went home and I was embarrassed.
You should be.
And I woke up the next morning and I was like, you know what? You're not dumb. You're not weird. You're right. But I did feel weird going to the office the next morning and everyone, like if I'd see one of those guys in the bathroom, they'd look at me and they're like,
oh, he's pulling it.
They're like, oh,
he's
God.
pulling over.
Oh, there's his belt buckle. It's coming undone.
You hear the clicking. You hear the clicking. Yeah.
That's why I got a new job. I am at a new company right now. So
you moved jobs.
I don't have to see those people anymore.
Have you had this conversation with your wife? Have you asked her like about this?
Hold on. That's why you left your previous law firm?
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, 1,000%. I was like, pay cut, check.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I just got to get away from these people.
Can't be embarrassed every day because I piss like a fucking dumbass.
I know. Listen, I know I'm outnumbered, but I still know I'm right. So when you know you're right, you can live.
The house and move out of the town, move out of the city. He moved entire.
I did move to a different city. I had to get new friends. Now I'm going to be on a new podcast next week. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be registered.
Guys, we got to stay on schedule.
Graphic. I just change it from DD Young to something else. So change his name change.
All right, let's transition, guys. You love our draft. The draft is what makes this show pop. This week we've got Justin. He's come up with our draft topic, and Justin, tell us about it.
All right, so I talked a little bit about it earlier, but basically we're doing a draft. It's going to be once again a snake draft. We're going to go. I guess we kind of have to. It's weird because we have to change it up because Ashton's not going to be included in this one unless we're going to do a radio call in. But it's going to be the three of us. I guess that makes Brian will be drafting first this round. Brian gets to go first.
All right.
Which I guess that means Brian, Dwight, and then me. I will be going last, and then we will go back and forth. But basically, we're going to be picking our favorite albums that have been released over, and I would say our generation. When I say our generation, I'm saying our lifetime from 1990 until now. So anything that you want to pick, you can pick. And I don't care if the rules changed on you, even though you didn't. You never know the rules. You don't know the rules coming into this anytime.
So it's funny because I thought I knew the rules talking about the albums of our childhood, not about just our lifetime. So I have an album from 1966 that I was going to put on.
Yeah, you cannot use that
That's
album.
Fine. Okay, I'll take it off. So
I just feel like what would happen if we did this stuff before we were born?
Yeah.
It'd be like, well, why didn't you include
Pink Floyd? Why didn't you include
Frank Sinatra? He's one of the greatest artists of all time. Whatever.
Right.
Did you? By the way, real quick before we get into this, have you seen the AI thing of Frank Sinatra singing the apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur?
No.
Yes. Are
you gonna put this in the short?
No. Well, there is that whole thing. I could make it, but it's amazing. It's his voice doing the entire song.
Is it good?
It's actually solid. It's actually pretty good.
I'd listen to it.
I might stitch this or whatever it's called, put it together kind of thing.
I want to see that.
All right. Anyway, let's move it in. So I guess we can open this thing up. Are you guys ready to go? Are you all ready to make the picks in this draft today?
I love so much music that there's no way I couldn't be ready. But
you are.
I
definitely.
just can't pick four or five. 4 or 5.
Four.
Let's change it to 5 because
no.
Why not?
We gotta do 4.
But there's only 3 of us, so
I don't care because it gives us more time to talk about our picks.
Okay, that makes it easy. That's fine. Well, I guess let's go ahead and open up the draft. We will do it now. Brian will pick first, and then we get to go.
There is no question for me. It is In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, Coheed and Cambria. It is the absolute best album for me as a child, as an adult. It gets you pumped. But realistically, the nostalgia factor, which is what I thought we were going to be talking about mostly today, is...
which is fine. That's okay. That's open.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that for everything. But for this one specifically, I want to take this before it's even possible for you to take it. In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3 and Coheed and Cambria. Coheed and Cambria is my favorite band. And I'm so thankful that they still exist and they haven't broken up and that they are, so positive.
Putting your eggs in that basket actually was a great one because so many other bands have like broken up or stopped.
Oh, absolutely.
They just keep going and keep chugging.
Talk a little bit about what Coheed does though with their music because I didn't know this until a few years ago, and that in a way turned me off to Coheed.
I'm not surprised by that.
That made you not like it?
Tell us about it.
So Coheed and Cambria is a progressive rock band that the lead singer, Claudio Sanchez, intentionally writes stories while he's writing the music, and he fills in the music with lyrics from the actual story that he's writing. And it's happened since the first album and Second Stage Turbine Blade all the way up till now. There's only been one album that was not specifically a story relation.
That was just kind of a reflection of his life at that
correct.
point.
He was having a kid. He had gotten married. It was just talking about life. And I really appreciate that album as well. But In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3 is the very first album I ever heard from Coheed and Cambria. I was introduced to it from my older brother. And specifically, this album came out when Battlefront came out on Xbox.
Your eyes tell the story of it. Anyway, go.
He sings like this.
Yeah.
And so a part of the enjoyment of...
Eyes tell the story.
That's actually really good.
He has an incredibly high-pitched voice.
That's what it sounds like.
It does not sound like that
sounds
per se,
dead
but
up
he
like
does
it.
sing up. He sings incredibly high, which with the hard rock music is like so confusing, but also beautiful. Thank you for ruining my entire time.
I'm sorry. You all
It's
talk a lot
literally
today.
my favorite album.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so like Dwight was asking me specifically, he tells a story within the
I
music.
love how
and you have
15 minutes after I ask the question, he's going to answer my question.
you have
my
no
fault,
reason to understand what that story is if you don't do your homework, and that's completely okay.
It's impossible
But when
to
you're
break it down.
listening to the lyrics. You're really confused about what the hell's happening because there's some crazy stuff like war stuff, people being
Murdering
cut up,
children,
robots, babies, blood all over the floor. This guy has to have some darkness to him, and he's really like this really lighthearted, nice dude, down to earth. But
You guys hang out like all the
rocks.
time, right?
Yeah, shout out if you want to come on the podcast.
But no, so to give a little
please.
context, I actually do like Coheed, but I never loved them enough to like go see a show. And you guys dragged me to a show, and so I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
So I started listening to them even more, like prepping for the show. And I'm listening to the lyrics, and I'm like, man, I love their sound. Their sound's great, but like, what the hell
What
is
the
he
fuck are
talking
they
about?
saying? Yeah.
And then Brian and Justin was like, oh, he's writing songs about these comic book, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, it's like
science
Star
fiction
Wars all over
story.
again.
Well, it
He's
kind of
writing.
is like a Star Wars story, which makes me love it more because obviously, if you watch the last podcast, Star Wars is my favorite anything of all time until Disney raped it in front of all of us.
We're
for
not
the
here to
last,
talk about Star Wars.
8 years. But anyway, besides Disney raping of Star Wars, what I will say though is, to me, that was cool. When I mean, everybody likes to tell you that as a fun fact. Oh, did you know? Yes, it's my favorite fucking band of all time. I'm aware that it's telling a story or whatever.
But see,
the
I think
story
they
is
did
really
do
cool.
one album. Well, it's cool to nerds, but that's why they did do one album that wasn't a
Dwight
story.
gets
correct?
crushed every time we post him hating on people, calling people nerds. It's like, you should have been born like 30 years earlier.
Because I'm wise beyond my years.
No, it's-
I know how to pee properly. I know good music. I know good movies. But no, answer me this. Didn't they do one album, though, where they did not tell a story?
Yeah,
It was
Brian
just
talked
music?
about that. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was drinking bourbon. That's, I think, why my favorite Coheed song, again, I know this is blasphemy to Coheed fans. I get it.
What is it?
I love Here to Mars because I
not
hear
blasphemy at all. Here to Mars is beautiful.
I hear that song because, again, I've always loved Coheed's sound, but I've never really connected with their lyrics, obviously, because I don't look at their like comics or whatever. But I hear Here to Mars, and I'm like, I get it. You're my everything from Here to Mars. I can sing this and
Here
not
to Mars
feel like
is
I
a
know.
love song he wrote for his wife, and specifically talking about astrological.
Oh God! Now you're ruining. Don't stop. You're ruining the song for me.
You don't like to have any
Tell
kind of
me-
knowledge about anything.
I do,
Like,
but
you
I
really
don't want to.
don't.
No, not comic books because I live in the real world. Where
So the
Anyways,
beauty,
but tell
for
tell
me,
this.
because this is supposed
So
to be
me-
my segment, not those two fucks over there who keep talking the entire
So
time.
media and entertainment don't matter to
the
Dwight.
beauty of the album for me was I was 12, I guess,
12,
13 when it
13.
came out, and Battlefront came out, and I didn't have an Xbox, just on an Xbox, and he was playing Battlefront, and I mean, again, it's Star Wars. We grew up on
It's
Star
war-based
Wars.
sounding,
It was
so.
war-based. It's like Call of Duty, but for nerds, like Dwight would say, and literally, it was our favorite game. We enjoyed that together. We played that together. We played this album, and the first song is an intro, and then after that intro comes In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, the name of the album, but a 12-minute song, 9-minute song, whatever it is. And it is the most amazing, like, set up for a wartime song. I mean, it literally says,
it's literally based,
man your own jackhammers. And one of the most beautiful things that I think is it talks about how awful war is while also making it sound incredibly badass while you're playing a video game, fucking shooting everybody. In this, it says, man your battle stations, we'll have you home pretty soon. And later in the song, it says, we'll have you dead pretty soon. It is a perfect analogy of look at how beautiful and awesome a song can be about war, but also at the same time talking about how terrible
highlight the devastation,
and tragic, and how this isn't really what we should want, but it can be a part of a good story to not do those things.
Yeah.
So before we move on, tell us a few of the like hit songs. Like what are the best songs off that album?
So what's beautiful too about this is that Welcome Home came out on the next album, which
Welcome
I think
Home
was released in
Welcome Home is
2005.
another one of those though. When like I heard Welcome Home for the first time, I was like, this is sick. This is so sick.
Right.
But then again, the lyrics, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm singing about, but this is a sick song.
Exactly. And so when I go to listen to an album for the first time, and actually not for the first time, for like the first couple times, I may not have any idea what the lyrics are saying. I'm listening to the music. I want to feel the music first and then get into the lyrics. Yeah. So Welcome Home came out in 2005. Everybody blew up about Coheed and Cambria. To this day, it is probably the best, most well-known song from Coheed and Cambria. Not my favorite, one of the best of them, but not my favorite. On this album, Favorite House Atlantic was the big single that everybody knew because it's a 2.5 minute long song that goes incredibly quick. But again, it's talking about wartime snipers, all the kind of stuff. If you're really interested in it, to go back and look at the song.
I think your favorite's
and
gonna be the same one I had.
What?
What's your favorite one? Have you got
from the album?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know that it's going to be.
What?
The Crowing is my favorite song. It talks about a angelic being that is a prize, is what it's called, Prise. And it's a guardian angel essentially for Claudio. Claudio is the name of the lead singer. He's also the name of the main character in the story, of course. And it talks about cutting off her wings and becoming reborn and becoming a new being, essentially, which is the main character Claudio's purpose is to become the Crowing, this entity that's going to save the Key Network, which is big sci-fi nerd fest for Dwight.
So is it? That's. I mean, I knew that one of you guys were going to pick Coheed because obviously I've known you guys for years, right? Like over a decade.
I bet Justin's got the third
1,000%.
album
But see,
his
that's
list.
you know what's funny is that every single draft we
that
do,
was on my list.
I don't really have to worry too much. I don't think about you guys taking my picks. I know you're going to take each other's picks.
That's true.
You guys,
I think I have one of
We
your
grew up in
picks
the
on
same
here.
house. I don't know if Brian has all the picks that I have. Mine might be a little bit different. I did have In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth on mine, mainly because to me that was the opening one. In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth, the actual song is my favorite song on that album.
It's one of mine too. but
That
it's not
one,
my
and then
favorite.
also I think I like the long ones, Light in the Glass, 2113. I like those a lot. I think as I gotten older, I like those a lot more than I did when I was younger.
I like the ending, feeling like it's the end, and then it gets to 2113 after this long pause.
So,
and it's like, oh my gosh, are we listening to another album again?
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome. And it reprises so many of the songs that have played from. Anyway.
Well, and also the Crowing on that is kind of like the, I'm sorry, nerds, whatever. It's kind of like the Luke Skywalker Awakening kind of like theme kind of thing. So
it is.
I get that every time you hear it. It's really cool. I like that about it.
Am I up next?
Yeah, you're up next.
Let's do it.
All right. So I do want to say, no, we're not ready for that. Because I do want to say a couple things about this draft. This draft to me was nearly impossible to do because like Brian, and I think like Justin too, I love music. And I would have preferred this had been like top albums of your genre, like going by genre, going by.
But this is too hard to do for as a whole. Like,
it was impossible for me. And so again, I want to clarify by my list because there are certainly albums that did not make my list that I loved at a certain time in my life. But for me to make this list, it had to have staying power. Like I needed to have liked it then, and I still need to like it now. And so again, there's going to be albums that it's like 12-year-old Dwight would look at 33-year-old Dwight and just be like, you are a disgrace because you didn't put this album. I'm like, yeah, but that album didn't age well for me.
Right.
Yeah. I know it's
Dwight, you're 12. I'm 33.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I know
so
exactly
there are
what you're
certain
picking.
albums. No, you absolutely don't. All right,
This
tell me
is
what
how you remind me of what I really am.
No.
Is that not
There's
like
no
you.
Nickelback.
Say sorry.
That's actually a good
different
song.
story.
But no, that's not it. But the
I actually
first
did love that song when it came
album
out.
for me, I know I still like it. It's a good album. But no,
they're all the
absolutely
same
not.
after that. That's
Yeah.
every song's that song.
All right, first pick for me. Hit the button. This is one that I think that I could listen to then. I can listen to today. I think I'll be able to listen to it when I'm 90. Nevermind by Nirvana came out in 1991. I think that it is just one of those that is objectively a good album. You can't tell me that there aren't like massive bangers on this song. It was Nirvana's first. Or no, sorry, it was their second album, but it was the first on a major label. It was Dave Grohl's first album on the drums. It brought, I think, Seattle grunge into the mainstream. Like before, it was not much of a mainstream genre. And I mean, it's just got Smells Like Teen Spirit. I mean, obviously, that's just a da-na, da-na-na-na, da-na. I mean, when you hear that song, you can't help but just
Yeah.
I've never heard that one. Yeah.
Little
It's got
headbang.
in Bloom, Lithium, Something in the Way.
Yep.
That is
Come As You Are.
No, that's not on there. I don't
Yes,
think.
it is.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I messed that up. I mean, it is. It was
You
an
don't know your
iconic.
favorite album.
No, it was just an iconic. There was one. So when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, what were some of the albums I could put in the CD player?
Yeah.
And not have to hit skip much.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
Good call.
So I'm gonna have to go with that. I think it's just one that will age. It will age like a fine wine.
Well,
and
I think
again,
it
still
I
is.
again,
I mean,
there are some albums I'm going to talk about in my honorable mentions that have aged like a skunked beer.
Yeah.
It was my favorite album at the time. I would have blared it, but this one I think ages like a fine wine. It just does not stop getting good.
I think this is also one of those albums that like you can look back at and kind of think you can look at so many bands and so many albums that came after that. Obviously Foo Fighters, but that's just because Dave
Right.
Grohl, obviously.
Dave Grohl,
but so many
right.
other bands and songs and genres kind of that are basically have been influenced by this album.
Yeah, I mean,
And by
I don't think
Nirvana
you
as a
get.
whole.
I don't think you get obviously Foo Fighters. I don't think you get.
Yep.
Pearl Jam. I don't think you get a ton of these like amazing iconic bands if
Yep.
you don't get Nirvana's Nevermind album.
Yep.
So gotta go with it.
Quality pick.
Justin,
All right.
what you got.
So I'm coming a little bit off the cuff with these, and like it's a weird way. I'm kind of going with kind of like how Brian did, where it's just kind of like you're picking the band or the album, like just really like how much it influenced you, like either if it's one of your favorite bands or favorite albums. And I'm gonna go very, very nostalgic for me. And I know this is one that maybe like, especially for like a first pick in a draft, people will be like, really? That's the one you're gonna pick? Because I'm sure Dwight's gonna judge because he's a judgmental asshole.
Just tell it like it is.
Nerd.
So my pick is going to be actually the Offspring Conspiracy of One. It's going to be the one. There's so many.
They're just going to take each other's picks. This is all it is. You all might as well just be on a team and just take each other's picks.
But like the reason I say this, so like growing up, music has been like big with our family and our life. Like since I was a child, it's funny because I'll do this with Sarah because my mom, when I was a little kid, she listened to so much music. So like from oldies to like 70s, 80s, all kinds of stuff. I knew all the bands and all the music that came back to Frank Sinatra to freaking Talking Heads and whatever in the 80s kind of thing. I knew all that. So like growing up in the 90s, I had many, tapes and all kind of stuff just with random music like that. But this was the first album. I think my older brother actually burned the CD of this for me. And this was the first album or CD that was like mine of like music that I liked and that I want.
I do think you will always have a soft spot in your heart for that first album
Yep.
that was your album.
And that's what this is.
Yeah.
That's what
Same here.
Conspiracy of One was that for me.
I
And,
didn't
like,
have my brother burn it for me. I bought it.
You did.
Yeah, I have it at my home. right
Okay,
now.
well, good for you.
It means more.
I'm very happy for
Is
you.
Self-Esteem
You're the
on
bigger
it?
fan. Congratulations, you win, Brian.
Tell us some
You're the bigger-
singles. Self-Esteem isn't on there.
No, Self-Esteem is actually that's before. Okay,
That was before
so
it.
I love all the other albums, but this is the first one that I had.
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously you have Conspiracy of One. You have Original Prankster.
You can do it.
Let me just make sure. Come Out Swinging. You've got Want You Bad, Million Miles Away, Damn It I Changed Again, Living in Chaos, One Fine Day. All
If
Along.
I had a perfect
My
day.
two favorite favorites are
I
Denial.
would have it start this way.
Open up the fridge and have a tall boy. Yeah. I know really they're making fun
As a
of people.
10-year-old,
Like
yes.
at first I was like, oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to do that. I'm like, oh, wait, they're being sarcastic and they're saying these guys are assholes. Right. Go out to the game. And I'm like, I love going to the game and drinking beer. I'm like, I want to be this guy. They're like, no, you're an asshole.
I just can't believe you picked an Offspring album that doesn't have
I know, but
that song.
I
That
know,
doesn't
I know.
have self-esteem because
I
that
know
was
self-esteem is
amazing.
I remember being in middle school because TP fell in love with it. I think you actually the first one to show him this song.
Yeah.
And like everybody at the table, lunch table was like, or play.
You just wanted to do Nirvana. Smell like.
I know. I was doing it. I know. I went to. That's in my head now. But it's. What is
But
it?
you know what's funny? It's a similar sound.
It's
It's a similar sound.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's probably influenced by it. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it is because like I realized when you do the anyway.
I think we all listen to Offspring. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I know enough songs off that album,
Yeah.
but obviously Offspring, everyone knows that.
Denial Revisited and actually Vultures are my actual favorites on that song or on that list.
That is scary to me because that is exactly what I was just about to
Really?
say.
Well,
so
we're twins,
you get
so it makes sense.
it doesn't make sense.
We
'cause
only need
think
one of them.
diametrically
We only need one of them on the
opposed.
podcast. They
Like-
just finish each other's sentences.
Yeah,
It's scary because you have these fun, loud, in your face Offspring songs
Fast
that are
paced.
rock, fast paced,
Yeah.
and
I
then
want
you
you
get into
back.
these slow, like
Yeah.
in your feelings kind of songs.
Well, Vultures, the
and
dun,
that's.
dun, 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 dun. I love that kind of that riff.
I'm just glad we're not going to actually play the music and get.
We can't
you know,
copyright
yeah,
struck.
right.
But actually, if we do shorts, I can put that over it and I can play it in like not shorts,
That'll be
but,
sick.
but I can put it on my IG and I'll play it over in the
All
background.
of our listeners are so lucky.
They're so- Yeah,
we're
they're so lucky.
It's so sick the content we put out.
But there is so much like when it comes to like I understood. I thought about going with different Offspring albums and stuff like that, but this was the first one for me. And like to me, it's like you say, you listen to that album and the nostalgia it takes you back to the moment, and you can remember exactly where you were, what you were doing. I remember being at a stupid hospital. This is one of the later times. I had this for a while, but I remember for one of Mom's appointments, and like listening to that on my CD player or whatever while playing it. But I remember plenty of times in the car and all that. And
So my experience with this, and this is like sad to say, but it's true, is driving down to Biloxi, Mississippi for a family reunion, essentially at Biloxi, Mississippi, to go allow my granddad and my uncle Alex to go gamble, and for us to go to the beach. And I listened to
Biloxi
that the
Beach,
entire
of all
trip.
beaches.
Biloxi Beach, it's a highly sought after beach. And that is a memory that I have for Uncle Alex. I put this album with my uncle who passed away when I was in high school before I really had a true chance to get to know who he was before I was an adult.
No, but it's funny too because that is, and this is not, and then we can move on. But like that is funny. Biloxi, of all the places we've been on vacation, it sounds like the shittiest.
Right.
That's probably my favorite vacation I've ever been on.
As a
Because
family.
my entire family was there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it goes back to Brian though with the second pick in the second round of the draft. I think this is weird saying the
Snake. I
fourth
forgot
pick.
about the snake.
I am.
Oh wait.
No, you're right.
Oh wait, you're right. No, if it's Snake, then it
It's
goes.
still he gets 2 picks because he's
No, it
you.
goes-
Wait, no,
Oh, it
still
goes-
you. He
oh,
goes
it's
still.
me.
You get 2. Wait, who was first?
I went first.
He went first.
Then you. Then Justin.
So Justin, you get
Oh, it's
another
back
one.
to me.
Yeah.
This snake doesn't
We
work.
get lost in the snake.
We get lost in the snake.
every single time.
No, but like, well, it's hard because with only 3 people, it's weird to do a snake draft.
Ashton,
Obviously.
he let us down.
You really fucked us, Ashton. You hear that?
The audio quality is sick.
The video quality. Look how much better. Look how clear we are. Look how we were popping on this. Look at this bad boy. We only need 3 people. Anyway,
Tell us in the comments. Should we kill Ashton?
I really hope we get to the end of this and like no audio went through and it's just like.
That would be tragic. Tragic. All right. Yeah. All right, Justin. Let's go.
All right,
second pick for you.
Oh, this one's hard.
Hit the button.
What?
Hit the button.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry, Brian. I should let you do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This one's going to be a little bit different. I think I want to switch up genres a little bit. And I think so much for music because music is an emotional kind of a reference point. It tells kind of like a story of your life, even though a lot of that stuff will be. I can't relate at all.
You can express things through music that you can't express through words. I think.
But like, I can't relate to this genre at all because I'm gonna go with a rap album,
Of course.
for this. And this one, there's so many great great rap albums. Obviously, they came out when we were young. But the problem is I didn't hear most of those because one, my mom was like, "You're not listening to that. You're not listening to Tupac or Biggie or any of that stuff. They hate them. They hate you."
On that, but on that point, you know what's hilarious is when I played sports, as a kid, and my dad,
everybody knows that. Everybody knows.
I was on playing sports all the time. But no, my dad used to tell me, he used to bribe me and say, "Hey, if you have a really good game today, I'll get you that Nelly album," and I'll be like, "I got to go out and get like a triple double." And I would play my balls off every game, and my dad'd be like, "Yeah, but see, you dropped that one ball, and so I just can't do it." Every time I never had a good enough game to get that album, and it hurt my soul.
Did you ever talk to him about that?
No, because it just hurt. I eventually got one of my friends when burning a CD was like available. I was like, "Screw this," and I told my buddy, I was like, "Please burn me like this album," and he did, and I stopped playing sports after that because it's like, what's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point?
My album.
All right, so go ahead.
Sports.
Sorry.
So this one, I feel like this was one that you kind of judged me on, but I really love this album. It's one of my favorite rap albums.
Young Jeezy.
No, it's not. I like that one a lot.
Soulja Boy.
But I think because I didn't really get into rap until like I was like late middle school, early high school. So around 2003, 2004. No, not Soulja Boy. Actually, T.I. King is one of my favorite rap albums of all time. There's so many good songs, but like the entire album's phenomenal.
Right.
You go through it. You go from why am I blanking on the actual? I know I can sing.
I'm not singing.
The Top Back remix and all that. Let me just make sure I go ahead and get these in front of me.
Big shit
so I actually
poppin'.
do it right. That's
No,
that's the
I'm
next album.
straight.
No, yeah, he has.
I'm straight.
Front Back. I love Front Back because Front Back's kind of like an old '90s kind of like remix sounding.
Let me show you where we kick it.
Why you want to do that, little boy? Anyway, Ride With Me, Get It, Stand Up Guy, What You Know. What You Know.
What you know about that?
Live in the Sky was a cool one. It was the one with Jamie Foxx, which was like it was kind of like him reflecting on somebody he lost and passed away. But it was like really cool the way he did it.
How's Jamie doing?
I don't know.
I haven't. I think Ashton gave us the last.
Yeah, he talked about it,
update.
but I haven't gotten an update since. Prayers for Jamie Foxx.
Hell of an actor, hell of a singer, hell of a performer.
But like
Taken too soon.
He's
He's still alive, guys.
He's still alive. Stop.
He's taken out of my life right
Stop.
now.
He's not dead yet. But Bankhead, I like Bankhead a lot.
Bankhead.
No, that was a great album. That was an underrated album.
24.
20. Wait. Time out. Was 24s on that album?
No, 24s was
okay.
Rubber Band Man, which
Okay.
is Rubber Band Man was one that I remember I first heard Rubber Band Man and I was like, this is a really stupid song as a kid. And now I'm listening, I'm like, hell yeah, Rubber Band Man. Why I like it to Taliban?
24s was
Nine in my other hand.
24s was a vibe.
Yeah.
24s because that was also during the And One mixtape
Money,
days.
hoes, cars, and clothes.
And I swear-
that's how all my niggas roll. Anyway,
I love 24s. It was awesome. That was a vibe.
Yep. Anyway, I had to go with that one. So a lot of good stuff. King's one of those that I could listen to anytime.
I'm just
was a
glad we
great
have
one.
some diversity in this.
So that was my pick. So that goes back to Dwight.
Yeah, I mean, there were several rap albums I wanted to put on there too. That's a good one. I didn't think about it. But all right, for my second pick, hit the button. This one is personal.
Yes, sir.
This one is personal to me because as a kid, I was forced by my parents to play piano. And that is not a cool instrument. Like you were at the time.
I know where we're going.
You were not going to pull a ton of chicks
This
by.
is when Dwight made me fall in love with him. But
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah,
But
I got a little bit horny in 06 when I saw you playing.
At the time, like you were not going to pull many chicks playing piano. Like it just wasn't happening. But then a little band called Coldplay showed up.
Yep.
And they changed all of that for me.
Yeah.
And I could sit down and start playing The Scientist, and chicks would be like, oh.
And by chicks, he means me.
And chicks and dudes. Like I was seeing a lot of people. I was seeing some guys, I was seeing some girls. But A Rush of Blood to the Head, Coldplay, 2002.
It's on here too.
Obviously, it was,
My wife would appreciate
it. Was
this.
their
This is-
second album. Like Parachutes was a good album. It put them on the map with
Yes.
Yellow. But A Rush of Blood to the Head is when they just became an iconic. Like we're here to stay. We're a massive band. Again, it clocks. You had In My Place, The Scientist I talked about, Warning Sign, all-time album. I wish Coldplay still made music like that instead of the pop stuff that they do today. But for a nerdy in the music sense, piano player, that was a breakthrough moment for me where I could play music that people could appreciate and
got worshipped for it.
It was amazing. It was the best. So Coldplay, thank you so much for that. It was the best.
It is an honorable mention on my list.
So you're not going to know that. My wife will be mad because they're not on my list. But it's her favorite band of all time. I will say Coldplay, if you've ever seen them in person, phenomenal show. We saw them twice. Because like back in...
Can he actually sing?
Yes.
Yes. But in 2016, we were told, because they made it sound like Coldplay was one of those bands that was going to be like, we're done, we're never performing again, we're never doing another tour. That's what they told us.
He said
and they've done like 17 tours.
Yeah, they've done it a million times.
I didn't know because I don't follow Coldplay. So I was like, I'm buying her tickets to go to this one. And then we went to Chicago, and then we found out 2 weeks later they'd be in Louisville. They just announced it later. So we went to both shows. And Chicago was much better because it was this massive Soldier Field compared to the Yum Center. Yum Center was great, but we were all sitting at the top and all that. But they put on a phenomenal show.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best shows I've ever seen live. A lot of fun because it's just kind of like a big party, basically, the stuff that he does. Yep. But also, I don't know if Brian knows this bit of trivia or knowledge. So I don't know if they've been sued or not, but there were allegations against them. Clocks came out. This was do you know what you just album
Clocks,
was?
yeah. This was in 2002.
Yeah,
2002. So this came out in 2002, but this came out after the release of the original Pokemon games. If you don't know, no, listen. I didn't care about this stuff before. There were people alleging that if you listen to Clocks and then you listen to the theme song from, I believe it was either Rock Tunnel or one of those tunnels themes, it's the same rhythm and beat. It's exactly you need to go listen to it and you will hear that it's very similar.
I don't know if you've been paying attention to Ed Sheeran lately, but
No,
Ed Sheeran
I try
had a
not to.
lawsuit against him because his music sounded too similar to, I think, Bob Marley or a Bob Marley song.
That's very different.
And it just finally now got dismissed and said that Ed Sheeran won. Or I don't think it got dismissed. I think actually a jury heard it.
Yeah.
And they said absolutely not. Also, Ed Sheeran threatened to no longer produce music if the lawsuit was not in his favor.
Dang.
Seeing as how Coldplay, like the band that Coldplay was at the time, I doubt they stole that Clocks.
Or that
what
they were
I was
at
going
least,
to
I think it was that they were at
was
least
there are things
influenced by
called
it.
chord progressions.
But see, that's the thing is you're
that
talking about it.
are naturally occurring that
Yeah.
you can't say one person owns.
Exactly.
And so in this case, I imagine this 8-bit Rock Tunnel sound did not sound the same thing as Clocks.
Yeah. No, I mean, and going back to their live,
I want to listen
and
to
going
it.
back to their live show, I saw them right after they put out X and Y, and actually saw them in Freedom Hall. Awesome show. Then I saw them at the United Center in Chicago, and that was right after they put out Viva La Vida. And for me, X and Y was the last album I loved from Coldplay.
I like Viva La Vida.
Viva La Vida was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
And then everything after Viva La Vida, I was like,
I agree.
okay.
It's
I
not the
mean,
same
it's
love,
just not the
passion
same.
for it,
Yeah.
but I can appreciate it. It's just so
But I could listen. I could listen to a Rush of the. Again, I'm talking staying power. I loved a Rush of the Bloodhead then. I love it now. I think I'll love it 10 years from now. So
Right.
I think that was one of my all time albums of my life. And that's my pick. Brian, you have your second pick. Is that
and
correct?
third pick, right?
Ooh.
Back to back.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
ready
do
for
this.
Okay, so like I said, I was going nostalgic, but I think I'm going to change it up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised Dwight didn't go this way. Maybe I'm a little confused on how much you like this band or not, but there was a guy in high school who plays in bands and really liked this album. And I knew a couple of the songs from it before. He basically shoved it down my throat and said, listen to the rest of the album. And now
shoved it down your
it's,
throat, I bet he
well,
did.
I mean, he did, and it was so worth it. It's called Tell All Your Friends by Taking Back Sunday.
Great pick.
There is not a bad song on the album.
It's the best.
And Emo Brian, who chose to wear polos and hang out with athletic kids who played football and basketball and baseball, but didn't play any of those sports, identified very much with them, the athletes, but also the emo kids and also just normal people who don't fit into cliques.
Yep.
And this was like a bridge between those two groups for me. I got to share this album with both of those parties, and I could make them both appreciate it. But you know how I do. So sick of being tired, and oh so tired of being sick. That line has it sounds funny, but it's something that's held on to me because I feel like that on a regular fucking basis.
I'm always sick and tired.
I'm not even joking. I'm so tired.
Brian, it's cancer.
No, that is.
I don't even know why that's written right there. I was like, why the fuck did I?
That was one.
I love that fucking song.
No, that was
Brian's
one
called
of
from the chemo. I'm sorry.
That was one of. I agree with everything you said because that was one of those.
That's the one I wanted to talk about. I'm cracking up because I read that one.
You read the wrong song. What song do you want to talk about?
So that's a fucking great song, but You're So Last Summer is what I was actually talking about.
That makes more sense.
I'd never lie to you unless I had to. I'll do what I got to. And then it goes, the truth is I can...
Wait.
Don't let it go to your head.
Boys like you are a dime a dozen. Boys like you are a dime a dozen. She said... You're a touch overrated. You're a lush, and I hate it. These crescents on my knees, they won't mean a thing.
Copyright.
Okay, so anyway, I never lie to you unless I had to. I'll do what I got to. The truth is, you could slit my throat, and with my one last dying breath, I'd apologize for bleeding on your shirt.
That was a little much. When I heard that the first time, I was like,
I mean, that is an emo all-time lyric.
That
is the emo lyric. If you're gonna pick an emo lyric, that's the one.
Emo Brian came through when that song came. When I first heard that song, I'm not even joking. That was beautiful. And then Timberwolves at New Jersey. Those words at best were worse than teenage poetry. That made me really sad because I think I was that emo kid that pretended like, oh, I'm going to write songs. Do I know anything about music? Do I know anything about chord progression? Do I know anything about instruments? No, but like I'm going to write songs, and like
you could write poetry.
That basically threw it in my face and said, "Shut the fuck up. It's worse than teenage poetry." It was like, okay, fair enough.
When I was spending all the money in the world so you people would stop complaining about the quality of our audio, I was looking at some instruments.
I mean, I think you said it perfectly because that was also I was more in the, like, I was playing sports. I listened to like rock, listened to rap. I wasn't like the kid that went to Hot Topic or listened to emo music. But then I had a buddy that also like kind of was like, no, you need to listen to this album.
Right.
And I was like, I can kind of relate to these emo kids, I think, a little bit. And so I
got some emo in me.
That was a great album. As far as emo albums go, I think that one is an all-time. That's my top emo album of all time.
When I listen to it now, it's the exact same thing as I was when I was in high school.
No, you can still scream those lyrics.
Yes,
and
Emo Brian is still there somewhere buried between all this
in my heart.
I need to know. Anyway.
Such a good album. I mean, we were screaming that song in high school. We were screaming it in college.
And
if we were drunk enough, we would be screaming it right now. So a great
pick. To drink
great
more.
Pick.
We need to drink more on this podcast.
Talk for yourself. I've been filling this cup up a lot. All right.
This next pick is for
number 3. Pitch the button.
A good friend of mine named.
Pick number 3.
Next pick is for a friend of mine named Tessa.
She didn't listen.
Before this album came out, my brother actually, I believe, was the first one to show me The Killers. He loved them. Hot Fuss was the album. So I think Dwight's going to be upset, but
do you not like that? Do you not like
I don't think he's going to pick.
Or was that on your list?
My album. Hot Fuss was the one that Justin introduced me to, but
and
I loved Hot Fuss. There was not a bad song on the album, but
somebody
Justin showed me that album, and so it wasn't owned by me. It wasn't me showing it to somebody else. Sam's Town came out after that, so drastically different than what Hot Fuss was, but still just as entertaining. And when you talk about genre, they change up their sound so differently from what Hot Fuss was. I was almost concerned that they weren't going to be popular anymore, because I was proud of them for creating 2 awesome albums, but I remember sitting in a class at JCC with Alex Matthews behind me, and he and I put my headphones in, and he was singing these songs with me from Sam's Town, and he just like picked it up, and I'm like, this guy doesn't even like this type of music.
He doesn't look like a thing like Jesus.
He doesn't,
but more than you will ever know.
So my point is that, again, it bridged a gap between me and my friend who does not identify with this type of music per se explicitly.
No, he likes some stuff.
When I talked to Alex Matthews, it was Oh my God, the
Panic at the Disco.
No, well, yeah,
He loves
actually,
that song,
I forgot about
and
that.
I want to kick him in the dick every
Yeah.
time he sang that stupid song.
No, what's the?
I write sins, not tragedies.
Somebody that I used to know.
What's-
He used to sing that to me all the time.
What's the rap song that comes on at U of L football games? That
No, we used to play it for fraternity.
no.
Oh, the Crazy Town with the Crazy Train rip off. Not Crazy Town. Crazy Town's like a kid show, I think. Crazy Train.
Oh fuck.
You can get it. Let me know.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's just let's go. It's just let's go.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
That's
that's his.
Let's go.
That's what
they
I
stole that
identify
from
with.
Crazy Train, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's why I
you're
said
all
Crazy
right. You're
Train,
all
yeah.
right. You're all right. I didn't think it was the same
my
song.
So
favorite-
you're taking Sam's Town.
Sam's Town is my album.
So just so we can have the quick little debate. I'm not going to pick this now because you picked Sam's Town,
Yeah.
but I did have Hot Fuss, and I was going to
I
pick
love
Hot Fuss
so
Yes.
much.
and I'm not going to pick it now because of that. But how do you pick it over Hot Fuss? Hot Fuss
so
was
I just
explained
the
it.
be-
It's the feeling.
I just
it's
explained
the,
it.
yeah,
But what
it
are-
really
what are the
is.
Justin
songs?
owned that
But
album for
I took
me.
the flower. I took the
And
flower
the problem
first.
was,
So
is
Justin
I
deflowered the Killers,
Yeah.
and so Brian cannot take the better album.
Somebody
of the two.
told me that
I
you
take-
had
Dude,
a
oh, wait,
boyfriend.
let me just give you this. Just
Yep.
give me.
I take. Shut the fuck
No,
up.
no,
It's
wait,
my
wait, wait.
goddamn
One second. I just
time.
have to say this. I just have to say this. Mr. Brightside,
Yep.
which
That
again
was
is
I
Mr.
like the least
Brightside
of all of them.
Okay, that's fine, but Mr. Brightside, which I think is our generation's Sweet Caroline. If we're
Yeah.
being honest, like
I sang it
is
earlier.
what instead of us when we would go to a bar and we'd be
Yeah.
like, Sweet
great-
Caroline. Now college students are going to the bar and
Quality
saying
analogy.
Mr. Brightside. It's their Sweet Caroline. So you've got
Jealousy.
that. You've got Somebody Told Me, all these things that I've done.
Yep.
Smile Like You Mean It. Jenny Was a Friend of Mine.
Jenny.
Change Your Mind.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That was a good album.
I think I'm in love with Jenny. I don't even know who she is, but like he talks about her so much, and I'm like, shitty bitch.
it's a song about her getting
Woman.
raped.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. Yes.
I did not know that. This changes a lot of things the way I feel about Jenny. I want to
Jenny.
I want to pretend Jenny.
Jenny has AIDS and she's
I
going to
love
make
you,
you raise
Jenny.
the child now.
Well, maybe that's how she got it. Oh no. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Anyways, so yeah, interesting,
again-
interesting pick. Interesting.
I am a kid.
Him
and
saying interesting means he thinks it's a bad pick.
I just think
compared
Hot
to
Fuss
what-
is the album. Hot Fuss is the album.
if you fucking listen to me at all,
I heard you. I just don't
explained
agree with you.
Hot Fuss is that album, but I didn't have ownership of it. Back in the day, I prided myself on what the fuck is that? Did you just see that?
Yeah,
fly by?
there's a bug that came
It's
in
not
while
a
Dwight
bug.
went outside.
It's not a bug. It's
No,
like
there
a
is.
feather.
It is
or
a
some
bug.
shit.
Oh,
No,
no.
that's a bug.
Oh my god. Let's get at it. Let's finish this podcast.
So Hot Fuss is the album that I should be picking, like I just fucking said.
Yeah.
But Justin owned that because Justin showed me that. When I was in high school, I took pride in
The shower, not the
music
showing.
that I owned by downloading illegally for free on the internet, but also
Being his.
like I knew this before you knew this. That was like important for me to be like, I'm introducing you to this.
So this isn't about the
Justin
music.
showed me,
In other words.
Hot Fuss.
This
When
isn't about the
Sam's Town
music.
came out, I think Justin was like less about the Killers at that point.
Yeah.
And he really wasn't interested in getting invested into this new album.
It was very different. I go back now and I listen to that. I listen to the Skeletons, whatever, all of those songs. and all
Bones?
that. Bones, whatever. Yeah.
Don't you want to come with me? Don't you want to feel my bones?
Yes. Wait, does that mean is that like an erection?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, I like those albums, but like they're very different from that first one. That first one could have been fucking fire because I knew it kind of worked too. Because like you listen to it, I knew they came out in Las Vegas, so they kind of gave you that kind of like the techno feel. Like at the time, you're thinking about the like colors and the lights and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I fell in love with it, and I was kind of there was a part of me that was kind of hoping you get more of that because it was so like that was to me. And it's all emotional, but there was a lot of emotion in that album that you can kind of feel, especially the further you get into it.
Sam's Town?
Yeah.
Sam's Town has a lot of
It's just
emotion.
but it's a different way that it's presented.
Right.
Why it like hits me different.
Yeah. And why are we always counting
Yeah.
Anyway, just
So,
Yeah.
all right.
So Sam's Town is a quintessential album for me, whereas Hot Fuss is obviously for Justin.
Yeah.
And I appreciate what Hot Fuss is to build up to get to the point where you make Sam's Town. But Hot Fuss was made explicitly to get them on the map
I don't like
and put singles out.
It sounds like you're saying saying like Hot Fuss is like the elementary version, and then Sam's Town is when it's
I
better.
just don't think
No,
Sam's
Hot
Town's
Fuss is.
I just don't think
let's
Sam's
get
Town is as
fucking
good.
famous. Sam's Town is fucking.
It's okay.
amazing.
I just think that Hot Fuss.
I can listen to every song on Hot Fuss, and I'm loving it.
You can
And
listen to every single song
Sam's
on
Town,
Hot Fuss.
I do
The
hit
difference
skip.
for me with Hot Fuss is mostly upbeat, like single-esque songs, except for what's the one where oh my gosh, the You Fall in the Water in the music video. Oh fuck, hold on.
What the hell is he talking about?
I don't know.
I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier. That song.
I got soul,
Yeah.
but
That song is like slowing it down a little bit, but everything else is upbeat, happy. Sam's Town is an adult going through like life and understanding that there is things that you will lose along your life that you'll never get back. And then there is growth from that later in life where
Hot Fuss is an album
the river is wild.
for boys. Sam's Town is an album for men.
that I mean,
do you agree with that?
no,
that's what
he's,
he said.
he's
No,
summarizing.
All
Being
right,
a little
so-
sarcastic, but that's what he's saying. Yeah.
So
right.
it's my turn
Back
now,
to
right?
Dwight.
So as much as I don't want to do this, but I'm going to keep us rolling, and it was actually my third pick. I'm just going Hot Fuss, The Killers, 2004. I mean,
Wow, I thought you said you were gonna do it.
I wasn't going to
Now
do
you're
it
doing it
because I
because-
wanted us to talk about another
But he
band.
pissed you off so much
No.
that you're like, I'm doing this.
Number 3. What does that say?
Yeah, Hot Fuss, number 3. What's number 4?
I'm not gonna tell you. But listen, I don't want to. We don't need to talk about this anymore. But Hot Fuss again. That's not. I'm not a big Killers fan. I'm not even.
Oh.
That's not even. Thank
Forgot
you.
to do that,
Thank
yeah.
you. Number 3 for me, Hot Fuss, The Killers. You know, we don't have to talk about it. We've talked about it enough. But I'm even for not being a huge Killers fan.
Yeah.
That album was one you could put on without skipping.
Yep.
You could put it on, hit. And I still feel that way today. Again, staying power. Does it have staying power? To me, I could listen to every single one of those. Now, it is annoying that Mr. Brightside is like the basic white kid says it at the bar and they're all singing. That is annoying. But again, I think to your point, that's not even one of the better songs on the album.
It's not.
It's not. Change Your Mind was a much better song in my opinion. It's a great song.
It's just Brightside's catchy.
I mean,
it's so
it's
and,
catchy.
yeah.
Again, you know, going back to all these things that I've done,
hiding the list, so I
smile
can't
like
see
you
the
mean it.
list.
Smile like you mean it to me was an all timer. I just, you know, I love the album.
Yeah.
I think that it's an album also
The
that
like techno synth that I love it. It's one of those things that's why I love the diversity with some of these albums, some of the music. While it is kind of like your technical band kind of music,
Right.
I love the diversity we get.
And the
from it.
thing that again, like I said, I'm not a huge Killers fan. I think that was an album that pretty much everyone could appreciate. I don't think that there's many people that would listen to that album and say that is a shitty album. I think everyone can objectively say that is a good album. So that's my pick.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it anymore. So Justin, get into it.
So that's your third pick
Third pick.
overall?
Third pick.
And then I will be going on, and then I'll be making my third pick. So I just want to be clear. With the way the snake draft, Ashton threw it off once again.
You get 2.
I
You
get 2
to
in a
finish
row.
it off.
Oh,
Finish
man.
off your picks.
See, I don't like this because this kind of makes me. It's. There's so many ways that I could go. I
You
think,
picked this draft. You left it so
did.
open-ended that
It was the reason I say that. Yeah, I kind of liked it because maybe we can focalize down the road and do genres or do something like that.
just so you know, when
Or specific,
I pick the draft, I'm gonna give the most obscure, ridiculous thing ever. So just be prepared.
What's your favorite penis size? And
Yeah,
then
and then we
through
just
all
go
this.
4, 6, 7,
Exactly, yeah.
and it's gonna be super simple.
Brian's
All right.
like 3. Why is 3 not okay? 3's perfect.
I think
Three's the
3.5
perfect.
is
3 is the perfect size to pull through your zipper.
3
If you've got 6 or above, you got to go over the belt.
3's enough. Yeah, I think if you
gotta
honestly,
go through your shirt.
if you're over 3.5, you're just showy. We don't need that kind of. We don't need peacocking in here. I think for this one, this is another.
button.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. You get to do it. So for my third pick overall in the draft, I'll be picking back to back for third and fourth in this. But I think for this album, I'm going to have to go back to another. This is kind of more of a, I guess people call it pop punk kind of rock. But like to me, one of the bands that kind of made my childhood and made what I love that I can listen to. There's certain bands that I go back to and I'm like, every year I'm going to listen to that album. I'm going to listen to one of the albums. I'm going to have to go with Blink-182, Enema of the State.
Great pick.
As my third pick. There's so many good songs on it. I'm just looking through right now. All the Small Things. What's My Age Again? The third top song on there is a hard one for me because it is Adam's song, which is the song that is famous for. Yeah.
Do you know that's one of the few songs I could play on the
piano?
No. Excuse you. I could play a lot of songs on the piano. On the guitar. I actually learned how to play that on the guitar, and my parents are like, "Ooh, what's that song?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it, Mom.
Mom, this is
you're gonna miss me when I'm gone."
Mom, this is the song about suicide, and then also a kid did commit suicide to that song and played it, and it was like his parents found him with it just on repeat, and it's really sad. So that's after I learned that, I can't think of anything.
What other songs are on that album?
Songs: Dumpweed, Don't Leave Me, Aliens Exist, Going Away to College. I can listen
Going
to all
Away to
these.
College is great.
Going Away to College, Dysentery Gary, what's my said that all the Small Things, the Party Song, Mutt, Windy Clear. I love the riff opening to Windy Clear, and then Anthem. Like it's one of the, to me it's one of the perfect albums. Like it is one of those like Hot Fuss and whatever that I play it. I don't skip a song. I go all the way through, and I'm hyped the entire way. Blink-182 is one of those bands though that like. I love most of their albums.
Yeah, iconic. And again, Staying Power, like it's just that's a great album.
Can we talk really quick about the fact that there's a song called Aliens Exist, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously it shows here the lead vocals is Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
And now he's a complete psychopath who genuinely believes that aliens are coming from outside of our galaxy and coming and visiting him.
Do you think that's crazy?
At night and I don't
know that he thinks they're touching him.
It's crazy that somebody who I grew up with a lot of fame and decided to jump ship essentially and go into the deep with coast to coast type people who believe that
he's working
Bigfoot's
with the government
gonna fuck your wife. And I think that's kind of fucked up that somebody who wrote these beautiful songs is fucking insane.
Dude, I'll be honest, this is an entire topic for like me. I would like to go in for an entire an episode.
Tom
like for the
That's
main,
going to be a Justin Bryan solo
like,
episode where you guys just talk about
Coast to coast.
Like to me, there's so much that's interesting about like the conspiracy theories, things along like those lines. There's certain things that like to
me too. When I was 10 years younger.
So you don't believe in any of that now?
I'm so disenfranchised because I spent my teenage to early 20s like wanting for proof of any of that stuff and listening to crazy people on Coast to Coast Radio at night because I enjoyed it. I spent money to have the podcast so I could listen to it at work and be like, oh, maybe there's aliens.
Well, that's fun, but
like of course there's aliens, but like realistically, did they get here yet? Like no. I'm sure there's civilizations out there super far away that I can't reach, but I'm saying to believe that they've come and visit or they come and touch my pee-pee at night, like I'm sorry.
I don't think he said that. He said that.
Listen to Coast to Coast. He talked to George Norrie about it.
But my question, but real quick, my question though is like, so like.
Nerds.
You don't. It's not a nerd thing.
Nerds.
This is like a conspiracy theorist.
Just so you guys are aware, this is Dwight's house that we're in. We're staying as long
Nerds.
We'll be here. We'll stay here till you can't make us leave.
You guys are gonna go play lightsabers with your wieners when I leave.
I did do that. I mean,
do you remember the Star Wars kid, the 2002, like the fat kid who's just swinging the Star Wars? That was Brian in our backyard,
okay.
and that's not even a joke. Brian actually did that. My mom used.
That was my exercise.
No, my mom used to sit. That's actually how he lost weight. No, my mom used to sit me out there to get beat with a lightsaber. She made me go play with him because it was sad because he was alone, and he would just start hitting me, not beat off, but like he would hit me with a lightsaber, with a Darth Maul lightsaber.
Just start beating me off.
To be fair, I had a double blade lightsaber.
I only had a single.
And Justin only had one single blade.
Darth Maul.
Wow. Darth Maul. Little moth that's hanging.
Happy May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day.
You have no fun like in your life. Like you don't enjoy things.
I had a blast.
No, you didn't. You
touching grass. You guys never touch grass.
I think you were touching a chair.
That's what I was going to say. But I was going to go
anyway. Yeah,
but to bring this back, as great of an album as that was, if I did have to argue with you, and I think that the Blink-182 purists would hate me for saying this, I think I would pick their self-titled album.
I like that one too. But I was
For
looking.
me.
That came out when I was in
2002.
middle school, 2003.
2003? Okay.
Yeah, when I was in middle school, I had it right in front of me. You don't have to look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna make
It's
sure you're
right
not
here.
wrong.
Here, I'll
Just
show
gonna
you.
make sure you're not
It's
wrong.
right
It's
here.
fine. Okay, cool.
Well, take off your pants and jacket. Another one I love.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, thank you.
Feeling this, which I love.
That album.
All I can think of is John Miles.
I Miss You
whenever I hear
Down.
it.
You know what? I think it was one of the better Blink-182 albums.
Miss-
Down. I think Down is one of the most underrated Blink-182 songs.
But
Always, all of this. Here's your letter.
yeah, but my problem with that is I think to me I think it's also like peak. Like middle school was like a weird time. It was a great time.
body
I
was
had fun.
changing.
Body was changing. I didn't know. Am I a boy? Am I a girl? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Hey, I get to decide now. But anyway, I'm doing that.
I remember vividly having
But,
a
like-
story of a lonely guy on my MySpace and people commenting saying, "Are you good?"
You all right, dude?
You need to.
You okay?
Yeah. It's like, I'm just a lonely guy.
But it was just.
That's a great song, though.
is
That's
a
such a
great
good song.
To me, I think that's actually, it's funny because the way those albums came out, it kind of went along with middle school, you're growing up into an adult and things are changing. So Blink-182 changed their style a lot in that album.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it, there was so much like real world stuff too. It was like depressing.
Mm-hmm.
I miss you. So, and like all that. It was such a far cry from take off your pants and jacket and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like just a fun, goofy bullshit.
Right. Got a little serious.
But yeah, but I think I'll stick with it.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. All right,
you.
number 4.
Yellow
right.
Card, Ocean Avenue.
No, actually, this is one
that's a good album.
This one's gonna be a curveball that I'm gonna throw into this entire thing, and the reason is I want to do a different genre. I've done enough of like the same. It's hard, kind of.
Spider-Man soundtrack.
Spider-Man soundtrack, Sum 41. Am I just gonna push all these out there that I liked? Green Day. Am I gonna do all that? Yeah. No, I'm gonna go a little bit different. This is one. I think this is a big part of my life. I remember this in 2006 when Italy won the World Cup. I was on a high, I don't know why I was just really into this kind of music. I was listening to like older music, so like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all this stuff. But this one I was on a kick for. It was actually listening to Michael Bublé's "It's Time" album, and I really, really did it. I don't know why I was obsessed with it at the time.
I know you.
Feeling
and I
good.
know that this is all correct because
I know you're going to disagree with this pick.
No, I don't.
Okay.
For you, enjoy it. It's
No, for you.
Like no.
I wanna do something
genuinely
different.
know all the words to all the songs
Yeah.
too because you've made me listen to it.
Feeling
and I loved
good.
it too.
I love it because a lot of it's like obviously redoing of older songs and stuff like that, generations from before. But I love that. I just love the genre of music.
I think at that time you were very much into Godfather and
Yeah,
like Italian
Godfather,
Mafia,
all that.
So yeah.
Yeah, well, and there was a lot of stuff. Italy winning the World Cup, and then
Right.
grandfather passed away, a few years before that. But
Right.
I was kind of like, would say it was a moment in life.
Quando.
Yeah, the Quando. I
Nelly
love that with him,
Furtado.
and I didn't like Nelly Furtado at the time, and that's when I started to like her again when she came back a little bit. The first time when she had "I'm like a bird, never fly away." I hated that song.
can sing.
I hate her guts back then. But feeling good. You don't know me. Quando. Let's see. Save the last dance for me. Try a little tenderness. I've got you under my skin. There's so many good songs on that, and there's so many just like through that.
It's like you're at Olive Garden and you're just gonna enjoy all the songs.
When you're here, you're gay.
family. Oh,
Because it's Pride Month. Please. When you're here, you're gay.
It's not a derogatory term.
No, that's their June
Yeah.
slogan.
Yeah.
all right. I just wanted to do something different for that one, so I'll go ahead and we'll pass it on. I guess I pass this one back to Dwight.
So you guys know, obviously, what my 4th pick is, right?
No,
I think so. Yeah, it has to be
don't.
3 Doors Down.
I don't. I have
No?
You don't know?
I have no idea.
Well, that's ironic.
Yeah.
Is it?
Because you ought to know. Because I got one hand in my pocket, and the other one
Really?
is throwing a peace sign.
It's Alanis Morissette.
Really?
Alanis Morissette. Little Jagged Pill.
There's no
That's-
3 Doors Down.
Again, we'll get
Yeah,
to that.
this
Dwight
is
does
shocking.
not-
We'll get to
3
that.
Doors Down does not
but
have Sting.
I swear.
Alanis Morissette.
You've matured
Are we
past-
gonna talk about 3 Doors Down?
I'm
Are we
going
talking
to
about
do
pick?
my
Are we
gonna
best
talk about
not to
my pick?
allow you to speak about your album because you didn't let me speak about mine.
I'll just wait. I'll
So-
wait. That's fine. I'll wait.
I am mind blown genuinely that you're not picking a 3
This
Doors
is
Down
shocking.
album. It is shocking.
But not even that. But like
I got one hand in my pocket.
I know Alanis Morissette was
the other
good, but
one's jerking my dick.
I
as we
need,
say
but I
in the
need to understand.
podcast.
Okay, so why is Alanis Morissette so?
Now you guys tell me why should I have picked 3 Doors Down? You guys talk about it.
Alanis Morissette.
Because you love 3
No,
Doors
it's
Down.
your pick. You tell me.
Call me Superman.
Listen to me.
You be lying
That is,
holding my hand.
that is one of the most underrated albums because it is got hits after hits after hits. You talk about
he's telling
ironic.
us.
Ironic. You ought to know. Hand in My Pocket, Head Over Feet. That is one of the best albums to listen to if you've either broken up with your ex recently or you're just feeling sassy. That's the album to listen to. It has got some bangers. If you're a dude, a girl, it has just got some great songs.
I don't think I've ever listened to the album in full, but the singles off of that, I totally don't disagree with you.
Every single song could be a single. It's
I believe that.
That good.
Yes.
I mean, like again, ironic.
Yes.
Classic.
It's like rain on your wedding day.
It's a free ride
when you've already paid. Anyway,
good advice.
Is that?
But then it's like,
is that song about Uncle Joey? Is that song actually about Uncle Joey?
But you know what? I actually like You Ought to Know. That's actually my favorite on that. It's like, does she go down on you in a theater like I do? I'm just like,
I'm a whore.
I'm dating way too nice of chicks right now because no one's ever done that to me.
Where's
the
my
story
Alanis?
about that being about Uncle Joey to me made it so much better. That it's like her talking about like going down on Uncle Joey, who was like a clean cut. Everybody,
Maybe.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kinda.
maybe. I don't know. I just
Hold
know.
on.
I
Uncle
just know
Joey?
that
John
Full House.
Stamos?
Yeah, Full House. No, that's Uncle
Dave Coulier?
Jesse. Yeah, Dave Coulier. Yeah, they dated, and it was like a secret thing. That's the song's about Dave Coulier.
What?
That's supposedly it's about
Good
him.
for him. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I would think
She went
John
down on
Stamos
him in a
was really
theater.
good. All right.
So like he's dating dirtier than you.
dirtier than me. That's yeah. But anyway,
I hope your wife doesn't watch this.
but you cannot put that album
I hope she
on.
does, actually.
You cannot put that album on without just blasting it and singing it at the top of your lungs.
Yeah.
It's just impossible to listen to Ironic, You Ought to Know,
Yeah.
like Hand in My Pocket. Those are just, you have to sing along. You
Well, her
have
voice
no choice.
is so
She's
unique.
pissed.
It's so well,
That's
it's
what I love
her
about
style
Alanis
of time.
Morissette. She
Yeah.
is legitimately pissed, and I'm pissed for her.
She
So
comes-
I love that album.
I think the difficult part for me though is she comes off as like a woman that like
Like a bitch.
yes.
But that's okay.
I'm a bitch. I know that's not her.
I'm
That's
a
Meredith Brooks.
Yeah,
or
but it
whatever.
could have been her.
But
It sounds like her.
Sounds like it was made for her.
It was.
But they passed it off to Meredith Brooks. But I don't know why I know her name.
I have
yeah.
they're again so hard to pick 4 albums from my lifetime.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of influential. Like, yeah.
That was one that just again I could sing it then, I could sing it now. I think I can sing it in 10 years. So I just think it's got that power. It's got that staying power. I think Lincoln one day is going to be singing about like, you know, you ought to know. He's going to tell me, he's like, you ought to know.
Daddy,
That's my pick. So that rounds it out. I've got to sum it up. I've
Papa,
got.
did Mama ever go down on you in a movie theater?
I'll be like, I wish. All right, so we've got Nevermind by Nirvana, A Rush of Blood to the Head, Coldplay, Hot Fuss, The Killers, Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette. That rounds it out.
Not bad picks. Not bad.
Close this out, Brian.
Ryan,
What is
the
your
final
fourth?
pick?
I don't know if I want to go completely obscure and tell you guys that it's going to be my way and it's my pick, so I can do whatever the hell I want.
My way on the highway.
Oh, Limp Bizkit. Let's
Keep
go.
rolling.
That's not what I was going to
I
play.
know y'all be loving this shit right here. IMP biscuit is right here. If I don't care, then you don't. Wait, I don't know the rest.
Got a chainsaw.
like a
Ass
chainsaw.
raw.
Such a stupid thing. But yeah,
All right, so real talk. I'd like to go Format, Interventions, and Lullabies.
I knew it. Wait, is that? But that means
It's
you're not
the
going to.
first album, and it is incredibly too emo for me to share that with Taking Back Sunday. So I'm going to go with Linkin Park Hybrid Theory because
Hold on.
there's a lot of other. It's an honorable mention.
Yep. It's
No,
it's on the.
so if
well,
I had
now it
not
is.
done Hot Fuss, if I had skipped Hot Fuss,
Well,
where it
that's
was going.
Hybrid Theory was number 5 out of my
Yes.
top 4. So yeah,
Hybrid Theory is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's yeah.
All out bangers. It honestly wasn't too different than what Coheed and Cambria was at the same time that I was talking about with Battlefront playing on that in the end explicitly.
Yep.
I mean,
piano
they played
song again
the
that brought
hell
it out.
of that song, but yes. Yes. Oh, dude, I just remembered Incubus too. Oh my gosh, there's so many.
I
Great
still
Incubus
associate
songs,
that
too.
with Majora's Mask because like they did that music video and I was like, oh, that's a good game. It works with the game because
music video.
they did a music video thing with that like later that they mixed them together.
Yeah, Dwight hates
Kind of
this.
thing, but
It's fucking
well,
nice.
because there's only 3 days and then you die at the end.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Paper Cut, Crawling in the end. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's a great
Who the
album.
hell didn't know all the lyrics to all of those songs. They beat the shit on the radio, and you could still listen to it every single time.
The thing that I like too about Linkin Park is kind of going back to what you said about Taking Back Sunday, kind of bringing you into the emo fold.
Yes.
Everyone could get behind Linkin Park at that time.
Yeah.
Because it was, everyone at that time was like your angsty little teenage years where you hate your parents, even though they like provide all of your food and like
do everything for
they
you.
literally like are the reason you're alive.
Yes.
But you're still pissed at them. But also, if you were a rap fan, you had some rap, you had some techno, you had some rock, you could kind of get behind it.
Yes.
You know, so it could bring everyone
mix
in.
of music.
Stupid, easy, privileged life where I come home and the only worry I had at the time was if Dr. Pepper was in the fridge and if I had to fight Brian over it. I think every day was like, I was hyping myself up. Am I going to fight this other fat fuck for the last of the Dr. Pepper? Then he decided,
up, we're not talking to you.
Shut up. Dr. Pepper, yeah. And then Brian decided to lose weight so that all the Dr. Pepper was for my fat ass. That's what happened. Anyway,
I just drank strawberry kiwi Kool-Aid. It was the best shit in the world. Anyway, Linkin Park.
how did he lose weight with that? That's got to be pumped with sugar.
I don't know. Yeah, that's really
I guess he
messed
just
up.
didn't
I played
eat.
a lot of basketball by myself and Willie.
It was 5-year-old kids.
All right. That wraps up
Guys,
wraps up our picks.
I want to be clear though. There are so many more other albums that I wish I could include.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for honorable mentions right now.
So we're gonna do honorable mentions. I'm just gonna rattle them off quick. I'm gonna go. Justin's gonna go. Brian's gonna close us out.
Perfect.
So here are my honorable mentions.
Perfect.
Again, I'm gonna be missing some. You guys are shocked, and again, like I said, 12-year-old Dwight would have kicked me in the balls for not have putting Away from the Sun, 3 Doors Down on there.
Yeah.
Again, I wanted to be clear. I wanted it to have staying power. I wanted it to be something I could listen to then, today, 10 years from now. All of the picks that I have, I think age like fine wine. I still could listen to Away from the Sun, but 3 Doors Down as a band, they have aged like a skunked beer. Where I see them, they're still touring, and I want them so badly to stop touring because they look so bad and
get some
so
rest.
old.
Go sleep.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
We
It was
love
a
you. We
great album.
appreciate
Away
you.
from the Sun, Here Without You, Away from the Sun,
Without you, baby.
When I'm Gone.
And then I
Those songs
dream.
will always hold a special place in my heart. All-time favorite album for me as in that time period. But they've just not aged well.
Shine down to there.
gross,
Shine
guys.
All
down
right.
to there.
So again,
shine down.
the rest of my honorable mentions, I just had to spend some time on Away from the Sun. College Dropout, Kanye.
Yeah.
Get Rich or Die Trying, 50 Cent.
Yep.
Country Grammar, Nelly. Tell All Your Friends, Taking Back Sunday. An Appeal to Reason by Rise Against. If you have not heard that album, you could play every single song.
Yep.
So
Yep.
those are mine.
Stole a lot of mine.
Okay, I have there's a lot I didn't even think about at the time. All American Rejects. Actually move along
my
that
gosh,
album,
yes.
and also, but also, is the other one Paper
self-titled
Heart?
album.
Yeah, it was self-titled. That's what I'm
Yes.
thinking of. The self-titled album. Another one that I completely forgot about how much I listened to them. Birdman and Lil Wayne, Like Father, Like Son. I love that album so much. That's another one that I listen to.
Wake up in the morning, take a piss and wash my hands.
think
Take a knee and thank the man. Get back to the money.
Yes.
You ain't know.
I
gotta go.
I'm having to go through here because there's so many. I like Chingy Jackpot was another one I really enjoyed. Chingy had a lot of hits in that one. Linkin Park Meteora. I actually heard Meteora before I heard Hybrid Theory because you got it. You
Yeah.
There you go.
You're
And I
right,
didn't
I
pick
did.
that because you didn't want one that you introduced me doing. There's that. Oh, Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Songs About Jane.
Dude.
Amazing.
Oh, that's a great album.
Such
good
a
album.
good- such
and
a good
again, that's
album.
another
Also
that's another band similar to Coldplay where I wish they had stayed the way they were at that album.
But
I don't like what they turned into.
I like their second album too.
Sure,
I like
sure.
that one a
I
lot.
just meant, and
but
I
it
like
started to
Coldplay's-
show you what's
yes,
going to happen.
Exactly.
And like looking back, I'm like, no, why did you do that? But like in reality, that album at the time, I was like, this is fantastic. It's okay. It's a little different, but it's really good. But then they just kept making it more and more mainstream and more whatever. Now when I see
More
fucking
pop.
Adam Levine's stupid fucking face, I want to smack him. But it just makes me so
But
sad.
no,
to think
Songs About
that.
Jane was a fantastic album.
Yeah. My Chemical Romance of the Black Parade was a good album. I like that, even though it's a little too much for me to really put it as one of my favorite ones. Oh, Reliant K. I love Reliant K. I'm trying to think the exact album title though.
Which one?
I mean, I like 5 Score and 7 Years Ago. I like that one a lot. But I think the older ones, a little bit older. Help me out because I don't. Those are ones that I forget what they're called.
I'm gonna be
Or
real
do you even
honest.
not know? Yeah.
I listened to the main one with the single that everybody knows, and then I didn't look at another album. I downloaded all of their songs.
Yeah.
and I listened
that's
to
kind
all
of
of
what
their
happened.
songs out of order. Didn't care. I was not a little Christian church boy,
Right.
And I heard like the
But
obviously
their songs
the
are
single,
universal. Where if you're not even like just trying to listen to Christian music,
There's
you
a
can kinda-
lot of religious undertones.
But you
that
can-
are
but
put
if you're young-
into it,
yeah.
but like you can appreciate it regardless.
And
Yeah.
hey, and on that note, I'm glad you brought that up because there was an honorable mention I didn't say that is in that same vein.
Yeah.
Which is Switchfoot.
Yep.
Oh wow.
The
Dare you to
Dare You to Move Out. What I'm trying to
You had
the,
that album.
The Beautiful Letdown.
Yeah.
Beautiful Letdown.
That was one of my, and it's still today. I still love that.
Yeah, but listen
And
to
it goes.
no,
Yeah.
No, I'm not singing that one.
Yeah.
But no,
obviously,
Dare
that's
You
the
to
one
Move is
everybody
still one of my
knows.
favorite songs.
Yeah.
Another one I forgot though, real quick. Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card was
Yes.
also
Oh, again,
sorry.
another of mine. If you just
Only
let me-
one, only
It's
one.
like, to me.
When I was a little like angsty teenager and like this one girl didn't look at me right in class, but I
Yeah.
loved her and she just didn't give me a time of day. I'm like, here I go.
Yep. So
Great album.
Scream my lungs out.
2 more
No, I
albums.
did, yeah, scream my lungs out, but I never talk to you because I'm scared.
Right. 2 more albums. I think, needless to say, a lot of the bands like Blink-182, you could pick a lot of those albums that came out. I'm just not going to say them again. One of them, kind of mentioned a little bit, Sum 41, All Killer, No Filler. I love that. I actually love that album a lot. I like to listen to that one. And then as well, also T.I. versus T.I.P. But even though I already said I'm not going to repeat this, but I'll just leave it there because we could be doing this for
Oh,
hours.
for sure. Brian, wrap us up before we
All
get
right.
into bourbon.
So I'm gonna go off the ones that I wrote down first. Outcast, Speaker Box, and The Love Below. So many hits off of that. Stankonia, same thing. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Obviously Eminem. I mean,
Yeah.
who the hell didn't like Eminem? I'm sorry. Like, obviously, people who don't like curse words and don't like you talking about your mom raping you or you raping your mom or whatever. But like Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem Show. I mean, like growing up, you're 12, 13. Like maybe I shouldn't. Like in retrospect, you shouldn't probably be listening to that shit. But like it, like was very impactful. And
What was the album though? Or are you just saying Eminem?
no, the Marshall Mathers
the Marshall
LP
Mathers. Yeah,
and the Eminem Show.
Okay.
Both of them.
I would say also like 8 Mile. That though is the song 8 Mile. What's it called? Why am I
8
blanking?
Mile.
Is the song just called 8 Mile?
I think it,
No.
No, I
it's
mean, I
not.
thought there was an album called
What
8
had-
Mile. Didn't they have an album?
Yeah, but the song.
Lose Yourself.
Lose yourself.
Yourself.
Lose
Thank
yourself.
you. That's
That
the
song was the one that kind of made me be like,
We're
okay, I
talking
like
about
this.
albums, not singles.
But no,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but
I
that
got you.
song was the one that made me be like, because there's so much of me that said, or from my mom telling me kind of thing, you're not supposed to like this.
Your mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, now I'm like,
You're like, I love my mom's
I
spaghetti.
love my mom's spaghetti,
Mom's skitty.
but now I'm like, oh wait, I like this a lot. Like I understand that was the one that did it for me.
No, that was
Green Day, American Idiot. I
Good
don't
one.
care what you
No,
guys
no,
say.
no,
it's a
we
good
like
album.
it.
It's
Yeah,
just it's
it's
very
good.
different from
Justin is MAGA, so obviously he doesn't like it, but
You're
yes,
used to
I
these
like it.
I am
short
a Bush
little-
guy. I don't like Trump, but I'm a Bush guy. I will say
American
that.
Idiot.
You're used to these short little punk rock
If you don't have Bush, I
songs.
don't like you.
You're used to these short little punk rock songs that they put out for multiple albums.
Jesus,
and then
I'm
all of
so-
a sudden they come out with American Idiot, which when I heard that, I'm like, I take offense to that. I'm an American. I don't think we're idiots. And then I listened to it, and obviously it's talking about the war over in Iraq, and obviously
use it now.
suburbia.
Holiday.
Sorry?
Holiday was a great
Boulevard-
one.
yeah,
What's her
Boulevard of Broken
name?
Dreams.
What's her name again?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, there's
great songs.
what's the drum one or whatever. Anyway, literally, I remember riding the bus listening to this album
Give
on
me
repeat,
no
and I don't care if the
bouquet.
song is 9 minutes long or 3 minutes long. I'm listening to the whole fucking thing all the way through. Like that album strangely hit for me, and I did not expect or think that I should like that. System of a Down, Toxicity. Ariel's Toxicity, Chop Suey, all bangers on that. And the format, both of them fun. If you know who Fun is with Nate Roos. Sam Means is in...
We got to wrap this up.
Red by Taylor Swift. Whew.
It's all right.
You guys don't like it?
It's all
Dude,
right. I like it enough. I like it enough.
I have no reason to dislike Taylor Swift as much as I do. I think
You don't like her fan. You don't like the Swifties.
Yeah, I don't
have
like
no
that, but I
reason
think-
to like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but I think the reason I dislike her is because it's like when she came out, it should have been like, that's it. There's your album. There's your 5 minutes of fame. Move on. But she just keeps coming out with shit, and I'm like, it doesn't seem that good to me. But like people love it. People just eat it up. And are you mad at me because like her new stuff? Like
Her new stuff, in my opinion, sucks. But give me Country Taylor all day long. I will listen to Country Taylor all day long. I still will. I will still listen to All Too Well all day long. And I will listen to that You're Not a Prince, I'm Not a Princess.
Love Story. Yeah.
Love Story. I'll listen to all of her country stuff. Her pop stuff to me. I mean, honestly, even her like new, like her original pop stuff I thought was okay. Now I feel like she's trying to be Lord, but she's not Lord. Like, like I think everyone's a sexy baby, and I'm a monster on the hill. Those are her lyrics, and I'm just like, shut up. And again, the Swifties make her more like unbearable because her fans are annoying.
So I dated a girl who I met at a snowboarding venue, and when we met there, we decided we were going to go to a Taylor Swift concert. Started talking. We were able to buy tickets to the Taylor Swift concert, break up, and still go to the concert. Like, I have no business enjoying Taylor Swift as much as I do.
Yeah.
She got bangers. I don't care.
I mean, a lot of good albums. All right, guys. So
Thanks for
we've been
stealing half of mine, Dwight, by the way.
I mean, we listened to probably similar stuff, but yeah.
I mean, I'm way off in left field on some of my stuff, but you,
All right, so we have been sipping. At least I've been sipping on this bourbon while we've been doing this. But Brian, tell us a little bit about what we're drinking, and I want to rank them and go from there. And so we can figure out what was the winners for us. So Brian, tell us about these bourbons.
So since I have the bourbon segment this time, I'm going to say we're not ranking them. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to rank them. So what we have here
He just wanted to be the guy in control. He just wants to be.
Dwight is normally in charge of bourbon because there's a really good reason behind us. He's got a lot of great stuff, and he knows a lot more than I do, and I really enjoy it.
Everybody wants to
Today is Brian's day. Brian's going to get to choose the 3 bourbons, and he's going to listen to what you guys have to say about what you think. And I want to know, before you guys know, which one of these is the highfalutin one, because I want to make sure I don't pick wrong.
So tell us about each 3.
What I've got here.
No, you tell us what you want to do. Do you want to tell us about H3? It's your segment.
All right, guys, what we have here today are 3 bottle and bond bourbons. Bottle and bond means that they are bottled at 100 proof, meaning 50% alcohol. Bottle and bond was a United States Congress Act, Bottle and Bond Act of 1897. Back in the day, I think Dwight touched on this in a previous podcast, there were people who were putting anything that they possibly could into a bottle and selling it as alcohol, whether it be poisonous, whether it be gasoline, whether it be moonshine, and adding some sort of coloring to it to try and pass it off as some sort of alcohol, make a quick buck and get out of town. The United States government decided for consumers and for good distillers that they were going to do this act that actually provide a tax incentive to legitimate distilleries and also set the standard so that way people knew what they were buying when they bought it. And it actually has on the label bottle and bond, and it requires you to put the distillery that actually distilled it and then where it's bottled on the label. So that way you knew the product that you were getting when you got it. Today, you don't have to worry about that as much, but it is a staple of spirits that it doesn't have to be bourbon or whiskey. It could be any spirit that's bottled in bond. So anyway, we've got 3 quality products.
One
they all
other
come
thing,
from
real
Heaven
quick.
Hill.
One other thing. Do you know how old it has to be considered bottled and bond?
It has to be at least 4 years old.
Correct.
And that's because the United States government's going to watch it mature. And the reason why they did that is to make sure that they were collecting the proper amount of money via the tax revenue. And so they were guaranteeing when they were collecting the taxes, they were getting enough money when they were doing it.
Wait, so it wasn't about like making sure it was done right and properly. They just wanted to make sure they were getting the right amount of money.
A little bit of both.
The government?
A little bit of both. Yeah.
I do not believe the U.S. government.
They're not worried about money. They only care about you.
Yeah, they're
as
trying.
the citizen.
It's about
Yes,
taking care of the
correct.
people, right?
You can drink yourself into an early grave as long as it is 4 years old.
Right. As long as the United States government collects their revenue.
As long as we've made money off of your
Yes,
death.
exactly. So what we have here are 3 terrific products, all provided by Heaven Hill. I'm actually a real big fan of this 7-year bottle and bond. It's specifically called Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond, and it is 7 years. So there was one that was a 6-year, and that was discontinued back in, I believe, 2018. And then in 2019, they came out with the 7-year product that I have a major affinity for. Then what we have over here is a Henry McKenna. It's a 10-year single barrel. So each of these come from different barrels. They all have a little bit of a different taste. But again, they're all bottle and bond. They're the same proofage. We won't be able to tell when we're drinking these today, ooh, this one's a lot hotter. Okay, which of the bottles is, the higher proof? Okay, I guess it's that. All of these should be roughly the same. However, these two have the same mash bill. So in Heaven Hill, they have a mash bill of 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. That is what all of their bourbons mash bills are. And some of those other products are Elijah Craig, Evan Williams, Fighting Cock, and William Heaven Hill, one of their higher end products that Dwight's got plenty of back there. So again, these two have the same mash bill. This one is different. This is the highest end that we have on this table. This one is actually specifically aged 17 years. It's Old Fitz. Again, the proofage does not say the same. All Old Fitz are bottle and bond. However, all of them have different ages. So if you look back there, you'll see ages ranging from
8 is the youngest,
Yeah.
19 the oldest.
Yeah, so I've got a 17. So on the higher end scale of aging. So aging, the older the bourbon doesn't necessarily mean the best, but usually it means there's been more time to mature. It's allowed for multiple seasons to occur, to allow for the summers to
Yeah, the summers breathe the alcohol out of the barrel, and then when it's cold and it's the wintertime, it contracts into the barrel, so that's when it gets its flavor. So it's coming in and out of the barrel like season over season. So you're getting a lot of barrel influence the older the bourbon is.
Correct.
Which could be good, could be bad.
Right.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Little Gattuso for
It's
you.
a great saying. Who actually said that?
That is a Gennaro Gattuso.
And he's the coach for?
I don't know where he is now, but he was a former player for AC Milan. He also played for the Italian national team when they won the World Cup in 2006. One of the great players. One of the reasons that I almost picked AC Milan over Juventus. But
And you were just out of the ether figuring out what fucking one you
But
wanted
I was trying to figure it out at that
Because
point.
I need an Italian one, so just give me
Well,
that.
I was like, I'm going to go for an Italian team. I've talked about it on the channel that I do. But basically, it was that Buffon and Del Piero that ended up making me pick for Juve. But I like Gattuso and I love Pirlo. Luckily for me, Pirlo ended up coming to Juventus in 2011. So I had 3 out of them anyway, at least.
I'm really glad that we're not on that podcast.
I know.
Because I have no idea what the fuck you
There's
just
also
said.
a big price difference, correct, for these 3?
So-
Gattuso's not nearly as expensive. He's a young coach. He's very affordable. Go ahead.
So it's funny because I think maybe a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, you could find this for about $45. Now it's about $60. And you're lucky if you find it, even in Kentucky. It is one of not necessarily allocated products per se, but it is dropped with other allocated products. Sometimes you get lucky, you can go to Heaven Hill, you can pick this off the shelf, but sometimes it's a special allocated product. This Henry McKenna, it is an allocated product at 10 years old. It's quality age, and like I said, it's a single barrel, so it has different flavor profiles to each different bottle, and that one has gotten excessive. When I first bought it, I think it was maybe $45-$50. I saw it the other day at a liquor barn for I think $69. I bought this bottle right here for $55.
Yeah, so the first bottle of this that I purchased was $35.
Wow.
And on secondary market, it was still $55. Now MSRP is like $70. So it has gone up in price very, heavily.
Very quickly.
Yeah,
just
and
only a couple years.
coupling on, and echoing what Brian said too. This is a single barrel, so I've had multiple barrels of this. Some have been amazing, some have been meh, some have been awful.
Right.
So you don't know exactly what you're getting when you're getting a single barrel as far as quality. Some are great, some are not. So we'll see what we think about this one.
So you jump to the old Fitz, and again, at 17 years old, you're going to pay a pretty penny for it. I bought this one for $212 at Heaven Hill, and on secondary, they go for a lot more than that.
You're looking at about $700-ish, give or take.
What's the oldest age bourbon you've had? Like, is there...
Honestly, probably this one at 17 years.
Really?
I'm trying to think. Dwight, do you have anything that's... I've never had the 19. I've never had a 23 or anything like that.
No, I've had a 20 year. 20 years is the oldest bourbon I've had.
Gotcha.
And it was the Heaven, actually, so I guess it's not technically a bourbon. It's a corn whiskey. I've had the Heaven Hill 20-year corn whiskey, which is back behind me. You may not be able to see it in the frame, but yeah, that's 20. I mean, again, Pappy Van Winkle has a 23-year-old. Actually, I've had Michter's 20-year. I've tried it. I don't own it,
Where?
obviously, at Michter's.
Oh, okay,
they did a
nice.
tour where it was 20 years. So 20 years is the oldest bourbon I've had. And again, when you get to that type of age, you better be a good distillery, because you are really going to be fighting against having real tannic oak, like just complete wood, tasting like dirt.
Right.
So you've got to be a good distillery that knows what you're doing if you're getting up to 20 years.
How do you upkeep that? Like, do you know much about like the upkeep of how they're able to like maintain those barrels for it to be aged that well and not be full of...
I don't.
If he did, I bet he'd be making a lot more money.
I wish I did.
Maybe that'd be something we could look into as we continue this podcast.
There is a bourbon that I think like all of the UK, they call it the like 1988 Legends or something. Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's like a ridiculously old bourbon.
$2,000 or something.
It's like $2,000.
It's 1,700 or whatever.
That was what it was when they released it.
Oh, no. It was 1,978 or 76
Correct.
because it was with the team, Dan Issel and all that. Dan Issel's like, I'm not paying for that shit. And that's just Dan Issel. But yeah.
All right, so let's get into it, guys. So I've been sipping on this a little bit. Oh, go ahead, Brian. You get
So
something else
the only
on
other
the
thing
Fitz?
that I was going to say is, yes, these two are the same mash bill. This is different. And the reason why it's different is because it's wheated. So I wonder whether when you're tasting this, if you can taste the difference because it is wheated. I'm a wheated fan. I like all the Wellers. I have all the Wellers. I drank too much of it. I'm not a huge fan of this. And it makes me upset because obviously it's an older bourbon and it's probably the most expensive thing that I own. But
How much am I able to ask how much you spent for that?
You just said
I just said
$212.
$212 at the distillery.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
But again, that's a steal considering you
steal.
could sell it, or if you couldn't get it at the distillery, you're spending around $700.
Yeah.
So you're, $500 difference.
So this wheated bourbon is going to be tasting a little bit different than these, but they all come from the same distillery and they're all bottle and bond. So the proofage is the same. So let's do a tasting of the first one, and I would like to go without any sticker, guys. You've already drank all yours?
No, I still have some.
Okay. I want to get your all's opinion on the one without the sticker.
All right, let's do it. And as we
that's a
do
start.
this, for those that don't know, when you say a wheated bourbon, you're replacing the rye. So instead of, you're still going to have your corn, obviously, you're still going to have your barley, but instead of rye, you're going to have wheat.
So while you guys are drinking
which
this,
one is this that I'm trying?
This is the
we don't know.
Oh, duh.
That's the whole
we
point.
don't know. Okay,
This is
sorry.
no
We're gonna rank,
sticker.
but we're going to rank them at the end. Yeah.
We want to rank them and we want to identify what your favorite is of these. While they're doing that, I will say that the wheated mash bill for Heaven Hill products is 75% corn, 20%
Holy
wheat,
crap, this one's smooth.
and 5% malted barley. The other products from Heaven Hill that have that same mash bill are Larceny. That's it. They don't have any other wheated products. They have a Larceny small batch. They have a Larceny barrel proof. And I was going to compare Larceny barrel proof to this, but it's not fair because the proofages are very different.
Did you say Bernheim?
Bernheim is
a weeded whiskey. Yep.
not a bourbon.
Exactly.
So this is the weeded bourbon mash bill for Heaven Hill.
Yep.
So tell me what you taste.
So Justin just said something, which I think is hilarious.
What?
But it's a good point. Justin said, holy crap, this is smooth, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So all of the bourbons that we are tasting today are around like 100 proof, right?
They're all correctly 100 proof because
I realized after episode 3 that I've been making us drink barrel
Really
proof
yeah.
only.
Yeah.
And so
High-level
it's
stuff.
not surprising that Justin has said, oh my gosh, this is smooth, because I've basically been like blasting his throat with barrel proof bourbons.
Tell me what you're blasting.
I mean, if you saw the last
Dwight.
short that it'll be a few shorts down the road now that we put out. Yeah, I talked about it. Gave me a hot, steamy one in the back of my throat. Oh my God.
So so Justin's going to be in love because all of these are going to be smooth in comparison to the barrel proof I've been blasting down his throat.
So what are you guys tasting?
So Justin's, I want to hear from you first. Obviously, you said smooth, which if you look at my notes that I'm making, I put the same thing. It is smooth. Like there's no doubt about it.
Like it's weird because like it hits, but it hits later. But even the hit that comes afterwards. Sorry, I'm not talking to my mic. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a very subtle hit. It's like if you did like a flat line, you feel it, but you don't really register it that strongly.
Can you give me some notes, flavor notes?
Do you taste anything other than
oak,
the
bourbon, alcohol? What else do you taste?
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just.
I don't have the vernacular for it as well.
I don't
Dwight
either.
does.
Like I don't.
But I'm getting vanilla.
I'm not getting cherry, any of that.
I'm getting vanilla. Towards the end, caramel. Dwight.
Sorry, I finished.
So the thing that stands out to me, and I'm super nervous that I'm going to completely butcher this. I get a lot of oak out of this. I think that this has a lot of oak influence. I do get cherry. I get some darker fruits that are very subtle because again, when you are putting it at 100 proof, you're obviously watering it down a touch. So it's not going to blast you with, I think, a ton of flavor necessarily, but I do get like some subtle dark fruit, some cherry. I think the oak is what really stands out to me on this. I do get a little bit of caramel as well.
I don't know if it's caramel or brown sugar.
Okay, now that you say that, I can register brown sugar. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah. I don't get a ton of brown sugar, but one thing I do love about this, and I do think is really good, is I think the mouthfeel is great. This isn't obviously a flavor, but I think it coats your palate well. It's pretty viscous. So I like that about it. I think it's oily, and I like that it coats your palate well.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This segment, for at least the first few times we're doing this, like for the first probably a couple months or so, it's gonna be very much a me learning and taking it all in because like I don't get that until you say it, and then after I go back, I already drank all mine though, so I can't really tell it.
I'm the same boat.
But like I can even smell like what's left over. I do get the brown sugar kind of because I know what brown sugar tastes like.
Yeah.
And I can get that when you say that. But otherwise,
you guys keep talking about it while I go get Ashton's that he's not going to drink, so I can drink more.
Do that,
so I'll be
do
right
that.
back. But you guys keep talking about it.
Good call. All right. So I'm a big fan of this one, actually. And I'm leaning towards one of these specific guys on this table. And they have the same mash bill, if that gives you any hints about which one I may be leaning towards for this. But we're going to go ahead and, if Dwight's ready, drink the middle guy. Before we do that, let's make sure and obviously get some smells.
Yeah, what's the sticker that we have on it? Is it a star or is it the other one?
My middle guy is a star.
Okay. Let me switch over to mine. All right. So the glasses they're in aren't telling at all. It's not like a Heaven Hill.
No.
They're
That's
just random
completely
glasses.
random.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you did sizing or anything like that.
You smell anything?
This one's pretty dull to me. Like I haven't turned a drink it yet. I just was going off scent.
Scent?
Yeah.
Tell me what you think. Justin, I want you to always go first because I don't want to. I don't want Brian or I to influence you.
Brian's like killing the ASMR right now. He's doing all that right now. Brian can just start an ASMR channel.
Some kidney beans. So Justin, let's go.
Yeah, tell me
the
what
star.
you
Okay, the only thing
He said dull. He did say dull. But
I think are all these going to be dull? I'm guessing just from my reference
when
point.
you're saying dull, I think what you mean is that there's not a high proofage that's causing a burn.
I'm not uncomfortable drinking this.
So when I hear dull, and I hear flat. Like it tastes so like I personally, and I think I'm in the vast minority on this. Every single Eagle Rare that I've had is flat to me. It's uninteresting. It just comes across to me as flat. And maybe that's what you're saying when you say dull, but you tell me.
So with this one, a little bit of dull, but I'm getting a sweetness to this one that I didn't sense with the last one.
Okay.
And maybe tell me I'm wrong, but I don't know. This is weird. Can they use anything like an apple-ish or anything like that? Like, does that make like
fruity?
But that's what I mean. I'm getting like a fruity or like a sweetness to it. I'm getting something like that. Like,
don't be afraid to say what you're tasting.
I'm getting a fruity airiness to me. This one that I didn't have in the first one, and that's what.
Do you like it?
I do. I do like it. Like to me. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I go to apple. It's weird that I go apple-y, but like I don't know, if that makes sense.
You taste what you taste, man. All right, so that was the middle guy. I'm gonna leave a little bit because I think I want to compare that to this last guy. I think I have a good idea already of what all three of these are, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I may be wrong, and it's gonna make me really, real sad if I am. But I think I already know where I'm at.
Okay.
So let's all take the one with the heart.
Wait, time out. So did we just do the star?
We just did the star.
Yeah.
You and I didn't talk about like notes.
Yeah, Dwight has
You
it,
tell me what did you get out of it?
How about you, since I'm in charge of this? I want to hear what you have to say because I feel real good about.
I don't, because one, I haven't drank many of the. I have never even had the Heaven Hill.
Right.
Had a decent amount of these, but again, single barrel, so you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
I've only had that twice, so I don't feel good about this at all. So for this one, I think it's very light. Like I was saying, how the one we tasted first that didn't have, a star or a heart, I got dark fruit, I got oak, I got like that oily mouthfeel. Here, I'm getting something super light, super bright. I get some oak, not a ton, a little bit.
It's an easy sipper.
It's like an easy sipper. The only thing that I get that would constitute a flavor, I do get a little hint of chocolate.
Yeah.
I taste a tiny bit of chocolate. Again, I think all of these are smooth. I put smooth on all three. But the oak that I get is like a little bit of tannic oak, which is not good. I like a nice, like rich, oily oak. This, I think it's like oak that almost tastes like you're licking a 2x4 to a degree. I don't hate it. I think it's okay. I do appreciate the chocolate note that I'm getting, but I think it's a little bit uninteresting, but it's fine. I think light is the key word. I think it coming off of the first one we tasted, this one tastes brighter and lighter.
This is one of the first ones that because I've never thought I would say this because I just don't drink bourbon a lot, really, or even whiskey for that much, except for when I was in college and trying to get drunk, and it was never for the flavor and all that. This is the first one that I tasted that one. I could see myself putting that with an ice block or whatever and sipping on it on an evening. That's the first one that I've really said that I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's so light,
right?
Hey, real quick, Dwight. John Moran's on the screen. Do not get too excited. Don't get angry. We'll save it for next time.
Got it. I do have thoughts, but yes, I will save them. Okay.
All right, guys. I
last one, right?
am somewhat of a fan of this. I feel like I have a good understanding of what this one probably is, and I'm not incredibly thrilled with it, but it is a quality bourbon, in my opinion, for other people.
Interesting.
Yes.
Is it a better? So I'm starting to think that's the old Fitzgerald because you didn't
Just
like
because
it.
of what he, well, don't
I'm not saying that that's what it is.
Based on what he's saying, I agree with you. I agree with that. I think that's what he thinks.
I take it as that. Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying
that's not necessarily
that.
what I think, but I could be way wrong.
What I want to say is I'm not a fan of Henry McKenna either. That specific bottle. I haven't had other bottles.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever actually had to drink. I like Henry McKenna. No, I don't.
So here's the thing.
You're just trying to be nice.
If this is going to help, if this is going to help
just in case
you,
it's a sponsor one day. I like Henry McKenna.
Yeah.
I like all of your products, Heaven Hill. I will drink them all.
God.
I especially
Endorse
like
us.
your William Heaven Hill series. I love your
Parker's Heritage.
Heaven Hill collection.
Yes.
I love your Parker's. I love all of it. So just give us all of it.
Give us free stuff, please.
So anyways,
thank you. We'll taste more.
Just if this helps you out, because I don't want you to be influenced by what Brian is saying.
Yeah.
You don't think it's that.
I don't think it's that, but these aren't my bottles, so I don't have as good of a grasp on it as he does. So I think he's probably, if I had to bet, I think he's right and I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think what you're thinking.
I still think it's very interesting that you guys think that I'm thinking what you guys.
It's just the way you said it and the way you described it to begin the entire segment.
I think it's a quality bourbon and it's great for other people.
I did make it very clear that I'm not a huge fan of that specific Henry McKenna.
All right,
guys, we're gonna go to the last one right here.
Is this
It's got the heart on it. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Tell me what you smell.
Honestly, I don't smell a lot.
I'm smelling sweet.
This is one that I would say more like what Dwight said, like the chocolate, like kind of
Really?
almost like a chocolate box. Like, does that make sense?
So Justin,
Yeah.
a little tip, and we may have already told you this, but when you sip a bourbon, keep your mouth parted. Don't sniff with your mouth closed. That way it cuts out the ethanol a little bit.
Oh yeah, that makes a big difference. Holy crap! Why did I not know that? Excuse me. Keep trying to pod myself down when I cough, but
I think this is my favorite. It makes me sad because lots of
Justin?
reasons.
okay. See, I am getting more of a chocolate with this one.
Really?
I sense like
That's
how you
interesting.
You described chocolate for the other one,
Yeah,
so
I
maybe
did.
I'm wrong. But like maybe it's after just hearing him say that. But I'm getting more of a like a richer kind of like that. It leads me that direction. But it's a very smooth finish. Like it's very like this is the smoothest one I think of all three for me. Like I never feel it really spike at all when I have it. It's just kind of like there's the flavor, there it is, it's going down, and then
No finish,
Yeah.
basically, is what you're saying. Like, no finish.
yeah, there's no like hard hit.
Yeah. You got any more, or you?
I mean, I don't have enough knowledge
Yeah,
to
yeah.
really give you much more. Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
Whatever.
Do you-
whatever.
Well, we'll get to the
Do you
like
like
which one we'll
This
get to the
is-
one which we like
This
better.
I like all three honestly, just because it feels like to me being I'm not a proof snob yet or anything
Yep,
like that.
yep.
But for like me starting out, all three of these would be like great starter ones. I feel like to get you
1,000%. And
to pop that cherry.
1,000%. And I was even more of a like beginner when I got into it, to where
Is there a cherry to this?
I did not drink much. I would drink every time I would drink a bourbon. I would sip it first, smooth or straight, neat, and then I would put an ice cube in it. So I rarely
Right.
drank bourbon without an ice cube in it
Yeah.
because my palate could not handle that proof.
Yeah, right.
And so I think gradually I became like,
Melted
I can taste flavors better.
You told yourself so much. that
I
now
just
you-
become more of an alcoholic to where I just wanted to just hit me in the face. But no, like then I gradually started realizing, I can sense more flavors when the proof is a little higher.
This almost get like a chocolate cherry.
I do get cherry. I'll go next. I mean, I do get cherry. I get a lot. So when I was writing my notes, I put fruity. I think it is very fruity, but I think it's light fruit. Like I said, for the one that did not have a sticker on it, I put dark fruit. This one I get light fruit. So I do get a cherry, but instead of a dark cherry, like I don't get the chocolate covered cherry. I get more of a bright amaretto cherry. I get bright fruits. I think that this one tastes, again, I could be way wrong. This one tastes young to me. I don't think that this one, this is going to be crazy if this is the old Fitz and it's 17 years old.
Yeah.
But to me, this one tastes young. It tastes like it has not sat in the barrel a ton.
Remind me the ages of these.
7, 10, 17.
Okay, so you're thinking it's going to be that one then.
I just think this one is it's very bright and very light fruit cherry, but a light cherry, and young, and obviously smooth. I don't get any finish on it. I do get, it's super smooth. Super, super smooth. Again, I appreciated on the one with the star, I appreciated the chocolate note.
Yeah.
I appreciated that there was some oak there. This one is just super, super bright.
So you
I
don't
just get it.
appreciate this one, or do you appreciate this one?
I could drink this as a starter for the night. Like if I know I'm going to be drinking higher proof,
Ease
stuff
yourself in.
Yeah, I could drink this as a starter.
Okay.
This is my day drinker right here.
Daily drinker.
No,
See, so
this
you're
is-
already just assuming you know what each
Well,
one
I mean,
is.
I'm not necessarily. I'm just
Do you
saying
drink
the
this
taste of
regularly?
it. I feel like this is if I'm going out to my family's and we're going to go ride side by sides and stuff, I'm literally going to bring this and drink this as my bourbon choice throughout the day. And like not worry about being like, ooh, I got super expensive stuff and I want to take care of it. I want to sip it, enjoy it, feel it, go have fun.
It's bright. It's
Yeah.
fruity. And it's easy.
All right. I want you guys to pick which of these three you think these are.
So we're gonna rank them, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah, good
I'm gonna
call.
tally them. Yeah, okay, thanks. I'm going to tally them to see like overall though what we've picked. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go first. So give a 3 points to the one you like the most.
Okay. So I'm actually going to go.
Dwight, do you still have some of the first one?
I have some of all of them.
I want some of the first one that we had, the one without the sticker.
So I'm going to give all 3 points to this one. This is probably my favorite.
What is it? Tell me.
This one I think I'm going to go with Heaven Hill.
No, I mean, does it have anything?
It's a heart.
You are giving 3 to the heart.
To the last one that we did. That's why I'm saying that.
Okay.
I'm giving 3 to the heart.
That's your favorite. Okay.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do it reverse order of how we did it. 3, 2, 1. So the 2 is going to go to the star, which is the one that I said was an airier, fruitier kind of feeling. And then the first one we tried, that's the one that I want to give least. All of them I could sip.
Okay.
All of them are easy entry level ones to me. Like that's the way I look at it. Like the ones like for me to start to get an appreciation for it, get my foot in the door. That's how I view it.
Yeah.
So like I think if you're gonna go, if Brian's gonna be cheap and give us the least. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm sure they're. I don't know anything about.
So that's fair.
Yeah.
Brian, do you want to go second or do you want me to go second?
Go ahead.
I'm the exact reverse as him.
I agree 100%.
I
don't know shit.
That's
so that's
surprising. So I went the one without a heart, one with nothing was my favorite. So I gave that 3 points. The one with a star, I gave 2 points. And the one that has a heart, I gave 1 point.
So when I said I agree 100%, I agree in which ones you're choosing. Mentally knowing that you're saying this is going to be Old Fitz, this is going to be Henry McKenna, and this is going to be the 7-year.
I don't know what you're saying, but all I know is...
My point is I personally like this one way too much. I like this one, but
when you say this one, I can't see the stars. Just give me your
So
points.
we went in order.
This one would be Old Fitz. This has nothing on it. This one would be
Star and Heart.
Star. So this
We went
that
in
would be
order.
McKenna, I guess, by his guess. And
went
then the Heart would be
left
the
to
Heaven
right.
Hill, right?
Correct.
I'm not smart enough for this.
I feel like he agrees with me.
Dwight can do 2 at a time. He can't do 3 at a time.
I can't do any of this.
So the first one on the left is going to be, can we go ahead and pick?
You can give me, no. Just give me your points. Give me, what was your favorite? Star, heart, nothing.
Yeah.
It kills me to say this. This
Kills
is
me
3.
not to know
I
this,
agree with what you were picking by ranking them the way that they were ranked. However, taste profile
Yes,
for me
for you.
makes me so sad. This is number 1. This is
Can you explain to him I can't see the bottom of the
Yeah, you got
Heart.
Heart is number 3. It is 3 points.
Heart is
You
3
gotta
points
tell him,
for me. Nothing is number 2, and Henry McKenna is number 3 with the star.
with 1 point.
With
All
1
right, let's
point.
tally it up.
Yes, that is my
7
position.
Star 4, 5.
I thought we were going left to right with all the bourbons, not.
I think
So,
we moved it
all right. For the how we tallied it up, again, I think you guys were closer than I was. I think I was a little bit of the outlier here. The heart was our winner
Yeah.
with 7 points.
Yeah.
The one with nothing on it was our second place finisher with 6 points. And our star was last place with 5 points.
Okay.
That's how we finished it. Now, do we want to guess which ones they are? Or
I
do
want
we,
you guys to guess. Yes.
So I'm just going.
I was gonna say,
Here's
it's
the
not
thing. Everything that I'm
fair.
going off is what I take from. I'm just taking it from you
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So like for the most part, like my favorite was the heart one, which just because to me it makes sense why it's the opposite of Dwight. Dwight likes higher proof now. He's built up his palate when
These
it
are
comes
all
to
the same
bourbon
proof.
and all. Yeah, they're well, but okay. But I guess the hit is what I mean. I like that it's just smooth and there's not a strong hit, but I got the cherry flavor. I like the cherry flavor. I'm gonna say that one. So I kind of just go. So much is going off what you guys are saying. This one I'm gonna say is Heaven Hill. I'm gonna say that's a heart one. Sorry, heart.
This is the heart.
That's the last one.
Go in there.
Heart going to Heaven Hill. I'm gonna say the star is going to McKenna. Wait, yeah, McKenna, and this one Old Fitz. The no marking. I believe that's what I thought. Wait, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Wait. You know what you said? You were just.
Don't
worry about what I said.
Yeah, don't worry about what he said.
But that's all. But I have no knowledge enough to really.
That's
you know what I
fine.
mean? So okay, but that's
Which one tasted
that's
like
fine.
an old bourbon to you? Could you tell?
I can't.
And so again, let's remind everybody.
Yeah.
These two have the same mash bill.
Yeah.
Did you taste anything that tasted similar?
Yeah, I would say both.
In nature?
Both of these were fruitier, airier.
Okay.
So then
this one is by far older, almost double anything on the 10 years older than this, 7 years older than that.
I would leave it how I put it then.
Fair.
That's how I would say the first one to me had the biggest hit, even though it's still pretty subdued.
All right, Dwight. Your turn.
So I would switch. So anyways, I'll just go. I agree with you on the Old Fitz. I do think the one that did not have a sticker on it was the Old Fitz. Could be way wrong. I don't feel confident about this one, but the one with no sticker, I would put as the Old Fitz. I had your two switched here.
Dad, am I white trash? Are we white trash, Dad? Did I just pick the worst one, Dad?
I
did
think that the one with a star on it, in my opinion, again, I've never even had this bourbon, but I think the one with the star on it is that one, which I ranked second, the Heaven Hill Bonded. And then my least favorite, 3, I think, is the Henry McKenna. That's what I think. I have no clue, but that's what I think.
Justin and I are exactly the same. So my no star is Old Fitz. My no sticker is Old Fitz. My star is Henry McKenna. And you can if you want to. And my heart is still with my 7-year cheap bourbon.
So did Allison put them on the bottom?
She put them on the bottom.
Are y'all ready to find out?
Which one would you like to do first?
So here's the thing.
So we probably could have been looking the entire time if we really wanted to try to see.
We could have.
Yeah, we should have done that. That was
I guess
dumb
we
of
should.
us.
That was kind of,
I hoped you did.
All right. So again, the one that won for us, not necessarily won for me. This was actually my least favorite. Was the one with the heart.
Yeah.
Let's find out what the Old Fitz was.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's the most expensive, so let's find out.
Old Fitz, nothing.
And we were correct. We were all correct.
All correct.
And I think that honestly, that was the easiest to point out because
shits.
It was oily. You could taste the oak to me, and I think that that's what I loved about it is that you could taste the age.
Yeah.
You said it was viscous, but you also said that you thought that the oak had matured too much.
No. I said that about the one with the star. I said that there was some tannic like flavors to the one that had a star on it.
Okay.
Which made me think that that's that's weird that I thought that. That doesn't make sense.
Every time you say tannic,
anyways.
I think you want to say tantric. And I'm like, there's a lot of tantric,
But anyways, yeah, that's interesting why I thought that. Anyways, let's see what we got.
I guarantee you this is the heart. And it's the fucking star. Are you kidding me?
way. So yeah, I am trash, Dad.
Are you kidding me?
Dad,
Are you not entertained?
Dad, I am.
Are you not entertained?
Dad, we are trash. We like the McKenna, and we are sipping on some McKenna tonight. Brian likes it. I like it. We all think it's delicious.
I drank this a lot. I have 2 bottles right now. This is the one that I'm getting towards the bottom. I got my backup ready to go. I'm mind blown.
That's shocking.
That I got it wrong.
Is it though? Because I kind of told you.
Oh yeah, well, okay, you know everything. Thank you, Dwight. Congratulations, you know it all. You are the bourbon master.
That he's never had it.
Master and debater.
And that's a single barrel, so they all taste different unless he has the same barrel.
The same barrel, which is very
unlikely.
Yeah.
And so clearly that's got to be the heart. Allison had to screw up. There's no other explanation.
Yeah, it's got to be. A woman did it. It's got to be wrong. There's no way that this could be correct.
Dwight.
But do you know what's hilarious though is that again I picked them in my order. I picked them the opposite of you guys, where I said this was my favorite.
Because
that was my second favorite. This was my least favorite.
Yeah.
But as a group, this was the winner. Henry McKenna won for us as a group. 7 points.
That's wild.
So you and I both because you all both picked the Old Fitz
last. We picked Fitz last.
No, you picked the Fitz last.
I did.
You picked the Fitz second to last.
Yes.
I
knew what I was doing by picking it second.
I picked it first.
I thought that was it. I definitely thought this was number 1.
Interesting.
It's not. It was that one.
That's wild.
I mean,
I got much more of a
do you know
cherry
what
than
is the
McKenna.
best about this though? Is that this tells you what you like. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this helps you avoid paying $700 for a bourbon that you actually like a $50 bourbon for better.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for myself, I like the $700 bourbon better, but
This one tells me go buy some Big Red and let's go.
this tells Justin to drink some lower proof stuff until he's ready for the big boy action.
Yeah, bitch boy. Drink it, bitch boy.
If you don't chew Big Red gum, then fuck you.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Justin, wrap us up, send us out for our merry way, and maybe Ashton will join us next week.
All right, we'll see. It may just be a 3-man podcast. Honestly, this couch really is taking it much better with just the 3 of us. And hopefully the quality of this video is a lot better. The sound, we put a lot into it. But thank you guys once again for tuning in for another edition of the Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast. If you feel so inclined and you would like, we asked you this. I forgot to put it in the front.
We beg you. We don't ask
Okay,
you. We beg you.
Smash that freaking like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. And if you want, you can go and follow us on all of our social media. If you look at Now We Can Talk Like Men, Instagram, Twitter, even TikTok, all the nonsense, I'm pushing that stuff down your throat. But if you could go ahead, subscribe or follow on all of those things, as well as you can follow us personally on our personal accounts. I'm at Justin Sofro. He's at DD Young 2, and he is at BBoles90, BBOLES90 on, I believe it's Twitter, and you probably find him on a few other things as that.
Brian's
as well.
so sad he didn't get this right.
Ashton, are you down there? Ashton! Somebody find where Ashton is. Anyway, guys, thank you once again for tuning in as well. Do all those things that we asked for. We'll see you guys next time.